There's a list of rappers who committed crimes so bad that they were even wanted by the FBI, just like Tay-K, who was sentenced to 80 years in prison.
You're young, but you're gonna have to make better choices. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm gonna sentence him to 80 years in the prison, give him credit for any time served.
However, the list of crimes committed by King Von left him wanted by literally everyone.
Case against a rapper accused in a outside of the Varsity will move forward.
They say around 5 in the morning on February 5th, Lil Durk, whose real name is Dirk Derek Banks, and his co-defendant Devontae Bennett were seen on camera involved in Alexander Witherspoon, a person police say they knew.
3 people, including a 73-year-old man, are recovering after they were shot just before noon today. Police say all 3 were standing near 63rd and King Drive.
Oh, wait, we've got some breaking news to tell you about right now. There is a police investigation happening right now at a home on Maryland Avenue near 67th Avenue.
Ever since King Von passed away in 2020, the police have solved 5 cold cases in Chicago using new technology, and they found King Von guilty of them, such as the famous 2014 Inglewood case, where King Von and a man named Big Mike went to a birthday party on Chicago's South Side. When shots rang out, a 19-year-old named Malcolm Stuckey sadly passed away, and 2 others were wounded. Police then later charged Davon King Von Bennett with the first degree, as well as 2 counts of attempted in connection with that incident. This was the biggest case of his early life. He was only 19. Being so young, Big Mike would eventually snitch against King Von as he didn't want to throw his own life away. The case took many years to reach a verdict, where police reports noted a witness saw King Von and Big Mike creeping up over a hill at a birthday party, hopping a fence, then using their firearms in a crowd of people, to which Malcolm Stuckey was hit in the crossfire. Big Mike would then confirm the witness's statement, as when the trial finally came, something unusual happened. The 2 defendants were being tried at the same time, but in front of separate juries. After all of the witnesses and cross-exams, the outcome came split. Big Mike was found guilty of aggravated with a firearm tied to one of the survivors, where later he was reduced on appeal, but King Von was found not guilty on every single charge. The judge noted, quote, "Bennett was acquitted of all charges, and he walked out a free man that day." But years later, King Von would make a song about this titled Why He Told, where the entire song is dissing Big Mike for snitching and telling against him, but also revealing the truth about the entire case, making lawyers believe it would have been reopened if he was still alive. Interestingly enough, King Von would even use this case to show how hard he truly was. While being arrested in a different case 1 year later, he would tell the police that he just beat a body in 2 attempts.
I cuffed him this way because
Cause y'all let me go to my Valentine's Day, man.
you talk going to jail.
I just got a deal on me, that's what I'm saying.
What were you like up for?
Like a body and 2 attempts.
What? I'm sorry?
You want it, you gotta have it.
However, King Von's case in 2019 would have put Lil Durk in prison if he didn't pass away, and let me explain. February 2019, a man would get hit near the Varsity where jewelry, cash, and a Jeep was stolen. The cameras around that famous drive-in diner caught both Lil Durk and King Von committing this crime. By June 2019, an Atlanta judge was listening to the probable cause hearing where a detective testified that a video shows Lil Durk firing from a moving vehicle while King Von was driving the car. The judge said there was enough evidence to move forward on the charges, resulting in King Von being arrested.
Put your other hand on top of your head, please.
But out here?
What?
For what? Atlanta?
Yeah.
Oh.
So just face it, and we're gonna just change it.
You too, I hate it like this, partner. You ain't never give me no hard time.
Hey, man, when you can't explain to your aunt, man, like it's not, we don't know what your case is. We just people to come pick you up. Right.
1 week later, bond hearings would hit. Lil Durk would get a $250,000 bond with conditions, while King Von bonded out as well, but here's the twist. In October 2022, Fulton County prosecutors dropped all charges against Lil Durk, quoted, "in the interest of justice." And under their discretion, King Von had passed away in 2020, so his file would never go to a jury, but if he was alive, the case would have went to trial in 2024. But here's where it gets real. Otia Vonnie's father revealed King Von was backdoored by none other than Lil Durk to prevent this case ever going to trial. I know how it sounds, but the new evidence lines up perfectly with what he said.
I'm gonna give you this. It's a backdoor and I got all the pieces. That's all I'm gonna tell you. As Durk asked Vonnie, is it open? Vonnie told him it's off the hinges.
Wait. Are you talking about the Von? Like King Von?
Listen very carefully. When the payment was made to Little Tim, the next day or the same day, Dirk asked Vonnie, was it open? This is what he asked him. Was it open? It was the exact words, was it open? He told him it's off the hinges.
Are you saying that Vonnie backdoor King Von? No way. That was right here.
You heard what I just said. Guess what? You need motive first, right? Yeah. I got bankers that'll testify that or will make a contract or make a statement to you and let you know that this is the amount of money he had, this is what he had, this is that, another. You need motive first and foremost. I got text messages from the lawyer letting you know that who told on Von before he.
As academics would then later ask Vonnie's father why Lil Durk would want King Von gone.
Why would Dirk want Von?
All right, man. Let me give you this. First of all, you didn't sign your rights over. You ain't in no 360 deal. First of all, you can't bring nobody into the business and they surpass you. How you bring me to the table when I pass you up? Don't nobody want their chief spot taken, do they?
That's an interesting
dude was
thing.
A slack. Dude was he was signing the boys. He was Von wasn't no slack.
That's interesting. I did find out that Von didn't have any contractual ties to Dirk like that, which was
I mean, come on, man. He wasn't even signed to him. How's this his friend? He lied on Breakfast Club and said, hey, you think your man would be sitting here with $300,000 worth of jewelry on and he not have an attorney?
As Vonnie's father would then later explain, the Varsity case trial was handled privately between Dirk's lawyers as well as the Atlanta court system. This likely means Lil Durk made a deal with the court behind closed doors so then it would never go to trial for his part of the evidence against him. But OTF Vonnie's father wasn't done here. He would even double down on everything he said when the news wrote, OTF Vonnie's father reveals Vonnie allegedly orchestrated Lil Pab and King Von's passing.
Oh no, he ain't take my advice. He ain't respond no back to me because this is on a tablet. He on a jail tablet when I sent that to him. He ain't respond nothing else to him. I told you he can't take my advice because they playing. They made themselves get caught. This is what come along with it. They wanted to get caught. You understand me?
So, that's what you meant by trenches of paint. Okay.
What you mean trenches what?
Was it you that said that? With the whole narrative about Vonnie snitching with the text messages, like that's.
Yeah. I don't know who said that, but that was me.
Cause that was a focus. Everybody was trying to make it seem like that's what the text messages was about.
That's just saying what he finna cop out to, and this, that, and other. And with me saying Von, some people like, damn, what he gonna tell on some words on Von?
I ain't gonna lie, I said that in my video. I'm intrigued to know what the Von name was for.
No, he ain't gonna tell him no Von. You gonna tell it just like you orchestrated Lil Pab. You orchestrated this. And guess who you work for?
This would then be confirmed by King Von's own sister on Instagram when she would write, Chicago rapper Lil Durk's sister-in-law calls King Von's cousin OTF Vonnie a rat and a snitch in the M for Hire Fed case, calling OTF Vonnie a snitch, confirming what Vonnie's father was saying. But there's one case that recently went to trial that had King Von's name all over it, which was the passing of FBG Duck. At around 4:10 p.m., FBG Duck and his girlfriend were parked on Oak Street, where he would step out and get in line for a luxury store. At the same time, cameras on the south side of O Block caught men sprinting down a stairwell, getting into two different vehicles, pulling out of the parking lot in a Ford Fusion and a Chrysler 300. City cameras and license plate readers would follow the car's path through at least 7 different spots as they headed towards the Gold Coast. At 4:26 p.m., both cars would stop in front of FBG Duck's girlfriend's sedan, where 2 people would hop out of the Fusion and light up the scene. 2 more would then jump out of the Chrysler and follow suit. Meanwhile, FBG Duck and another person were trying to dive behind a nearby car. His girlfriend would be affected in the wrist, the other friend was hit 3 times, and in about 15 seconds it was all over. Witnesses say that it sounded like a fire range, where FBG Duck would then sadly be pronounced gone. Just a few days later, King Von would then be interviewed by DJ Academics, where Von would react and kind of laugh.
Were you saddened by the news that he was
Man, that hurt. I didn't go to sleep that night. Can't believe that. Hold on, man. let's talk about some other.
Investigators counted roughly 38 shell casings where sadly FBG Duck passed. When the police finally arrested everyone involved, they named the title of the case the O Block 6. The arrest consisted of C. Mur, Kenny Mack, Loss, Sithang, Muwap, and THF TZ, but there was a very strange trend between these 6 arrests. All 6 of these men were gifted diamond O Block chains. Now, when you think of a diamond O Block chain, you really think of just one person, being King Von. Prosecutors noted in the FBG Duck passing that King Von spent about $128,000 on diamond O-Block pendants from an Atlanta jeweler, ordering most of them before Duck passed, but also buying a few right after. But that's not all of the evidence. In January 2023, the Chicago Sun-Times reported that police records had stuffed on the last page of their entire record. There was an informant on the case, and he said that, quote, FBG Duck had a massive price on his head, and that a person affiliated with the Disciples had offered $50,000 to get Duck, but then he later raised it to $100,000. The name was redacted from the records, likely to keep the individual safe, but what wasn't redacted was a clue of who was responsible. The person who said to have bought the custom O-Block necklaces for his associates was the one that police believe was behind the entire hit. But interestingly enough, those cases weren't the only ones that were updated this week. The passing of King Von was also updated this week, showing the actual file that was released in the Chicago court system, which revealed the truth about every single detail. In these files, it even began with the police being told by a nurse at the hospital King Von was brought back to life, made it through 2 surgeries, but then got startled by that nurse walking into the room, which resulted in Von passing away.
And Von made it through 2 surgeries. He had 3 surgeries ago. He made it through 2 surgeries. And then after the second surgery, he hopped off the bed and started fighting the nurse and said where his gun at. And he went and he died because he went into shock. So he was making it through 2 surgeries. How hours later, Kayla know, he fought the nurse. She the one told me that. His mama didn't even know that. How you knowing what's going on inside the hospital that quick?
Because she was there at the hospital.
But what's even more concerning is the police have written in their file that there is a reality where King Von got backdoored by one of his own. It was noted King Von had paid bodyguards who were supposed to protect him on this night. But when it came time to the altercation, they all ran in the opposite direction and didn't protect King Von.
His security guard let him walk. You get paid he get paid to protect. How the fuck you let him walk over and fight? You ain't supposed to let him fight. He ain't supposed to be touching nobody. Security guard, if anything, you make sure Quando them leave. Whoever else they was with, you make sure they leave. How you let him walk over somebody that's the reason y'all here, the reason everybody in this parking lot here, because this man right here making the money and y'all his entourage. But that security guard, it's something fishy with him. That's why he deleted his Instagram. I definitely feel like it's foul play. I don't know where it's coming from, but I definitely feel like it's some weird shit going on.
As the body cam footage shows King Von's friends, but not one single bodyguard, which were all hired by the OTF label, which is owned by Lil Durk. The police even found an interview from Quando Rondo where he gave his explanation on the truth behind King Von's passing, the in-the-moment details, and even what Von's final words were. But to understand it all, we first need to review the entire updated police file on King Von's passing as the entire case was solved. On November 5th, 2020, King Von and his crew prepared to head to a club in Atlanta for his album's release party. The night was supposed to be a massive celebration of life and success ahead of King Von, but nobody knew that it would be so short-lived. King Von had many enemies. Growing up in a dangerous place like O-Block, he knew the risks of being caught out in public. So when rolling out to the club, Von had a crew consisting of 20 to 25 street members, but also a few security guards. Even Von's manager 100K Track spoke on the extreme measures Von took regarding security.
I travel with one security that moves with Von, and he traveled with 2 more securities. You know what I'm saying? Von traveled in a proof truck, and not only that, his guys are security, man. He travels with 10 to 15 guys daily. They protect and love Von more than any security would. we're like, I think we're about 8-10 cars deep, 20-25 on Entourage.
However, later on in the night, something would change. King Von would act out and put his entire life in jeopardy, but in the meantime, Von's party was going great. Everyone was having a great time, celebrating the new album, but at around 2:30 a.m., Von was glued to his cell phone, texting back and forth with somebody. It was clear something was going on. When the party ended, Von and his entourage began exiting the club. The plan was for everyone to return to the Airbnb and hotel for the night, but King Von had other plans.
Everybody's mind leaving the club is that we're going to the hotel and the Airbnb, because that's normal routine. The club he went to, the after hours, wasn't getting paid for. I didn't have no acknowledgement of. His team didn't have no acknowledgement of. That was a complete Von decision.
With the whole crew heading to the Airbnb, King Von would tell his driver last minute to go to another club known as the Monaco. This would be the first decision of many that led to the end of King Von.
So everybody else that was with us driving to the Airbnb, and Von literally went to the venue by himself. We got a call later from people in the car, like, hey bro, we here by, matter of fact, I think from his DJ was like, hey bro, we here by ourselves, like, where you guys at? And everybody rerouted to that venue.
Now, for some reason, the people in King Von's truck only let the rest of the team know the plans had changed once they arrived at Monaco. When the rest of the team found out, they did make the U-turn in their vehicles and headed to the new club instantly. Once Von's manager got to Monaco, he knew something was off. Von was still glued to his iPhone, not acting like the upbeat guy that he usually was. Von's crew was ready to enter the club, but he sat in the truck for over 30 minutes.
For some reason, Von wasn't himself. This man is like, I promise you, the best artist I ever moved in my life. For some reason that night, it was off. Like, he stayed in the car for like 30-35 minutes.
His manager would then hop in the truck to check on him. Von finally agreed to go into the lounge, but due to Monaco's club rules, King Von's crew had to leave their firearms in all of their cars. At first, they just sent security in to look the club over, make sure everything was safe.
I went to the car he was in, I was like, yo, Von. Went inside the passenger seat. I'm like, yo, Von, bro, what's going on? Like, everybody here waiting, let's go. He was like, all right, let's go. We're telling security, hey, it's time to go in now. Von's ready. You know what I'm saying? We've been here too long. Let's go inside the club. They check the venue, go inside, check the outside, make sure there's no...
Meanwhile, the real issue was outside in the parking lot. This is because rapper Quando Rondo was in his car with a couple of his own friends trying to get some sleep. Since King Von and the others were waiting for the okay to enter the club, one of the security spotted Quando Rondo inside of his vehicle, ran up to King Von and said, "Did you know Quando is here?"
Now, right before we go inside the club, one of his homeboys, he came to the car and said, hey, so-and-so's here. And Von just jumped up like, oh, come on, let's go.
King Von reacted instantly, jumping out of the truck, looking to confront Quando Rondo. Von's team tried to get him to chill out and not start a scene, but it didn't stop him. Von would go around the front of the white vehicle, locked eyes with Quando, and immediately began swinging.
He jumped out the car. By the time Von jumped out the car, I don't even think he knew where so-and-so was. He just jumped out the car. He bumped into so-and-so. As soon as he bumped into so-and-so, started brawling.
Only a few seconds into the brawl, Quando's best friend Lil Tim would come out of the back side of the white car with his firearm and use it towards King Von. It also hit Von's manager once in the leg, but more on that later. Now, some of Von's members were still strapped. They instantly retaliated on Lil Tim, making him fall to the ground only a few feet away. With the noise eclipse going off in the area, there was 2 off-duty officers working security just down the street. They would end up creeping up to the scene, did a 3-2-1 on their walkie-talkies, and then unleashed multiple rounds into the area, trying to get everyone to calm down. Sadly, this hit one of King Von's friends, but during this, Von would lie right in the middle of the street with Quando Rondo still beside him. Many online believe Quando was trying to snatch Von's diamond O-block chain before fleeing the area, but 100K Track believes Von was holding Quando there to shield himself.
And was he trying to take Von's chain, or?
Honest truth, I don't think V-Roy had no jewelry on, and from the people that was a little bit closer, Von was actually holding onto him, like, man, you ain't going nowhere. Like, you here, like, even through getting, he's that strong. Like, he was literally holding him.
Police noted that once the scene relaxed and everyone stopped using their firearms, it started the race to save King Von's life. They noted via surveillance, his best friend Muop, who was involved in FBG Duck's passing, ran right in the middle of the street, hit Quando away from Von. Quando and his team then left the scene, including Lil Tim. They all hopped into their white cars and began driving to the hospital. Meanwhile, Von's crew helped him up and get into their own getaway car and go to the same hospital. Despite being in that situation, Von was conscious the entire drive. The members that were with Von in the car spoke out, saying Von was the one trying to keep everyone in good spirits and assured everyone he would be okay.
When he was in the car, I myself wasn't there. The gentleman that was in the car with him was panicking, and Von was the one that was like, hey, calm down, slow down, chill, I'm gonna be good, just get me to the hospital. And honest truth, we all thought that the way he was carrying himself from that incident, from what I was told from the people in the car, that he would have been fine.
Then, after arriving at the hospital, Von was rushed into the operating room where he made it through 2 surgeries, but then sadly passed after being startled by a nurse at the hospital while he was looking around for his firearm. But here's where things get odd. It was noted Von was looking around for a firearm in the hospital room, but he never had one. This evidence only came out recently. So how did Boosie know that he didn't have a firearm in this interview from 2 years ago?
I mean, like you said, the King Von situation, like there was absolutely no reason for Von to be rolling around with that dude. Like, there was no, especially since he had security, like, you know, someone should have jumped in. It should never even.
King Von,
I almost feel like, but I almost feel like if you have real security,
all of them is supposed to blast. I feel like they would have been more ready in Chicago.
Sad, man, sad. I mean, the whole King Von thing is really kind of hanging
me up,
over
bro.
everyone right now.
That f me up, bro. Cause I like King Von.
With the news of King Von passing, it would quickly hit news headlines where Lil Durk would be on IG Live when it happened.
This made national headlines as officials confirmed one of the 3 people was rapper King Von from Chicago, who was here last night with friends.
2 groups of individuals got into a physical altercation. That physical altercation escalated into an exchange of guns.
Everyone knew that Quando and Lil Tim were responsible, so everyone awaited their interviews to speak on Von's passing. The police finally found them, and they noted that Quando Rondo said,
whoever on my side, they got kids and a mama that 100% love them. And at the end of the day, bro, all this bull that we talking about is stupid. That could have been handled a totally different way. It could have been handled to the point where a song and $3-4 million could have came out or whatever. Like, they could have got handled in a legit way, in a music way.
To even Lil Tim, the man that did the crime towards King Von, would speak out in this interview.
No, like, shit, I was just protecting my little brother.
When you did finally find out that it was King Von who did it, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn, if Brian did that stupid shit last night, he still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, shit, I ain't no the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect to like his mama saying f him like that, because I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type. Like, I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but it's like, they ain't never popped that shit off. That would have never happened like that.
But comment down below if you believe King Von is guilty of these cases. And if you were a fan of King Von, like the video. I'm curious how many of you are watching. However, the crime that Kodak Black committed will sentence him to life in prison in his upcoming trial.
Warrant has been issued for South Florida rapper Kodak Black. Officials say Bill Capri, better known as Kodak Black, violated the conditions of his pre-trial release. This mugshot is from his initial arrest last year when troopers pulled him over for driving with an expired driver's license and tags and found drugs on him.
Hey, look, come here. I'm not gonna arrest you on all right? This is just for the time being. Come on, fish with. All right.
Today, there was new information in Kodak Black's case being released revealing a concerning update. It was first written, according to the Broward County, the Kodak Black felony trafficking and possession trial is now set for late 2025. The rapper is being taken to trial instead of being sentenced to a rehab program. Right after Kodak heard the news, he would then go on TikTok Live looking completely terrible.
Rodriguez, I'm in for Shelby Russian today. Hot 105. Russian today. Hot 105.
A lawyer inside of the courtroom wrote, "Chatter inside the court between prosecutors and law officials make it sound like Kodak isn't being given another chance. It's time for a sentence, but for how long?"
Hey, look, come here. I'm not gonna arrest you on all right? This is just for the time being. Come on, fish away. All right. You know your license is no good, but I'm not too worried about that. That's a ticket, right? That's a ticket.
In today's court hearing, the prosecutors told the judge to get Kodak into jail now. Do not wait until the trial begins, because he hasn't been doing anything good in the free world as of right now. Where they would then show an example of Kodak dancing on his kitchen counter, completely strung out.
We just got the sentence. What you want a Mac? Got some sentence. Got the sentence. You been to the boy. Got some sentence. Boy, you want raise you. Want your pack. Yeah, stuck on the Mac. Hey, stuck on the Mac. Then a bed rest. There's a long nap. But she took it out today, and you can't do it back. You can't help.
This would end up getting the attention of rap OG Boosie. He would react to Kodak's case, revealing that the last thing he needs is to go to jail, because he created a song with Tekashi 6ix9ine just a couple of years ago. And inside of any single jail in the US, if you're friends with 6ix9ine or work with him, it's a serious problem.
You know, Kodak done been in jail, bro, so that was a detrimental move to him, bro. Like 6ix9ine, I'm gonna tell you this, Vlad, and I'm pretty sure 6ix9ine knows this too. 6ix9ine is the most hated person in prison.
Really?
You hear 6ix9ine name damn near every other day. When people looking at their case, this motherfucker 6ix9ine. Like he is hated. He's hated. He's hated, bro. What Kodak did, he's gonna have to stand on that. He better stay out of. I got 9 calls from the feds, from the state, everything. Like Boost. Is it true? I know people are, bro, they gonna get on Kodak for that, bro. If he ever...
What's concerning for Kodak is he was arrested on these exact same charges 2 years ago in a separate case. This makes him a repeat offender, which confirms that he will face a prison sentence. To understand how long, it's important to know in his first case on February 28th, 2023, when it was announced, Kodak Black admits to being on drank, but denies on being on other items after pleading not guilty on possession and firearm charges, where he literally snitched on himself before his trial started.
I was on the and I was asleep in front of my family house, bro. That's it. I was on that drink, sleep in front of my people's house. But that ain't illegal. And that ain't illegal. So all that shit is just the process that it had to be in other mud shot. The process that even though like bogus is I'm plastered all over the internet. Then on top of that, it's like, bro, like I'm Haitian. And then it's just like my era, bro. Like, no, like, man, you better off.
Shortly after his IG Live, he would then be arrested as the feds would raid Kodak's Florida home. He would then hire his lawyer, Brian Cohen. He was able to secure a deal to have Kodak sent to rehab rather than sitting in jail for 2+ years.
Kodak, whose real name is Bill Capri, faced a judge Tuesday in Orange after turning himself in following an arrest warrant issued for violation of his pretrial release. Authorities said he tested positive for during a random test earlier this month.
What is this unjust and not right about this situation?
Black, addressing the judge after the pretrial release technician testified he may have mixed up the samples between Black and another patient.
There's no way you tested positive. We can resolve that by way of a hair sample, and that'll clear you.
Judge Barbara Duffy then asking for a hair sample today to clear up the alleged mix-up, which Black refused, rather choosing to check into the Legacy Rehabilitation Facility for 30 days as part of his pretrial release.
However, now in 2025, Kodak would commit the exact same charge once again, but this time he did something a little different. He he would document all of his use on social media. The feds were able to build a massive case against him, and I was able to find their entire evidence file. Here's what's in it. They would document when Kodak was in rehab for 2 years, it paused his music career, he had no new music, no IG lives, and it stalled his career. Many forgot about Kodak, but while he was in rehab, Kodak turned his life around fast. He got much healthier, he became a better person, then 3 weeks after his release, he dropped a hit song titled Walk, which gathered 33 million views, and it climbed him right back to the top of the chart, but it came with one massive problem. He would be invited by Kai Cenat to come onto a live stream. When Kodak arrived to the home, he was seen having extreme sweats, swatting at things that weren't even there, shouting random words, and it scared Kai Cenat.
You can't always say it, but at times it feel good. That's what you say sometimes. Yeah. I thought your name was Bubba. Hey, oh.
Which is when Kodak made the biggest mistake of it all. The morning after the live stream, he hopped on IG Live trying to explain the situation, confirming that he took extracurricular items before doing the live stream with Kai, confirming to police, hey, I'm using again.
Come on, you know, say y'all people like who be on that, y'all be on all type, y'all be on say all type of stupid. But I take you one and y'all be so hurt. Y'all wanna like it anyway. Yeah. Everybody else who be coming like on that timing, they ain't got no motion. They broke, they hurt, they something, or they trying to come into life some kind of way and trying to like look any type of little. Yeah, I could come in that way. Oh, I think you need help. Oh, look, bro. Try to like, and then you don't think.
Millions would be disappointed that he just broke his sobriety again, making himself look terrible on live. But the strung out moments only got worse. He wasn't taking the criticism well. He would then hop on IG Live just 1 month later, saying that he is waiting to pass away.
Everybody getting while we waiting on other people too, right? Other people, they don't know how to let time do his thing. Everybody like let time do his. Bro, time is the best. What you call it? Whether it's gonna heal or whatever it's gonna like, you know, let time do it. You gotta be patient. Love is patient. Love is kind. You know, like I'm saying, it makes absolutely zero sense. No sense at all. Or try to approach the situation with any type of aggression. The whole world on. Everybody on. Your man on. Your on. Everybody again. While we waiting. Why we just down here waiting on when
What's very upsetting is that he actually read this from a viral tweet that read, "Every time I see Kodak Black, I get so sad. That man has like 4 baby moms and not one of you greedy women care about him for real, because why are y'all not helping him? You're probably sitting around waiting for him to pass away." This would only be the beginning of Kodak's issues, where the feds would know a viral clip of Kodak eating chicken in the middle of the road, which got everybody's attention.
The wrong thing. Take a seat next to him. Take a seat next to him. Enjoy that food. Enjoy that. Take a seat next to him, brother.
Hold on, please. I want to be funny. Bro, I want to join that, bro. I want to be down here.
Like the video if you're concerned for Kodak, because Kanye West is. He even spoke out trying to save him. He would even ask other rappers in the area to come alongside him and help Kodak Black.
Okay, so I thought Kodak was in Miami. I see he's in Atlanta. So I'm getting a flight down to Atlanta right now and do something. So anybody that's already down in Atlanta that knows him and knows anything about him, I know I said rappers and all that, but right now I need y'all, man, to like really go and do something. Like we can't. I know y'all think I'm crashing out. Y'all, you see me talking, I'm expressing myself. And look, man, please don't. I know I said a lot, and just let me go down there and go help this man out.
But it's what happened later on in that night that confirmed Kodak needs more than just help. He was seen pacing around his room claiming that he's Drake's favorite rapper. He definitely could be, but it's more of a confirmation he is hanging out with the wrong crowd. His own friends would rather sit there filming Kodak be strung out rather than trying to help him and get him off whatever he's using.
I'm Drake's favorite rapper.
Who?
I'm his favorite rapper.
You Drake favorite rapper?
Yeah.
Nah.
He always say that, even his people always say that. They always say that. You know what I mean? Even when he ain't around, so and shit like, oh no, it's for real, bro. You just got it.
Kodak would continue this behavior for the next following few months. More and more rappers would react to Kodak, even Boonk, who would reach out to him being very caring.
But right now, man, we worried about you. You don't look too healthy. In front of outside looking in, it's obvious that you're a and I don't believe for 1 second you just doing for your own enjoyment. Nah, you trying to find something to fill up that void that's within your chest. See, I've been where you at right now. But by the grace of God, I'm clean. Them strongholds have been pulled down. Them chains are broken. So I'm qualified to talk about this. You got to make a decision, bro. You got too many people looking up to you. And from one father to another, got to set the right example for your son. This coming from somebody who genuinely cares. So if you come across this video, you want to sit at the table, break bread, man, holla at me.
But then only 1 week later after Boonk reacted, a fan would try interacting with Kodak at a local football game, telling him that he loves it when he is sober. This really didn't settle well for Kodak. He would respond very aggressively, hopping on IG Live.
Say I love when Kodak's sober. Change sober. I love sober.
That nigga's going for 2.
I know it's sober. For what? For what? Look at all this money. Look at all this cash. Sober for what? Too young sober. Young sober.
Then only 1 week later, Kodak would show up to the Baltimore Ravens game, once again looking completely out of it. A viral tweet read, NFL fans are worried for rapper Kodak Black as he appeared off while showing love to star quarterback Lamar Jackson in the Ravens.
Hey Kodak, what you gotta say about the Ravens, Big G? I love Ravens. Hello. Hey, what about that boy LJ, man? What you gotta tell the flock about that boy LJ, man? Yeah! Hello. Yeah! Hey, that boy Yak in the city. Yeah, Yak in the city. I live out here. Hello. Yeah, Yak in the city. Baltimore, let them know.
This would be the final straw for many in the rap industry. Watching Kodak go down a terrible spiral, it was clear that he needed help. Comment down below what you think he needs, because Wallow and Gilly would give their own advice. It was shared. Wallow and Gilly give life advice to Kodak Black, saying don't ever doubt yourself, you got them babies counting on you.
Don't ever doubt yourself, you got them babies counting on you. There's gonna be times where you're gonna doubt yourself, you're gonna be in pain, but them babies counting on you, you gotta be here. And I'm telling you that because a lot of people get around you and they see your success and they say, oh man, a lot of people need you, and they yes man you. I ain't here to yes man you. You know me, every time we connect with you, you know I got love for you. Not because I need you, I got love for you because you're a young cat and I was young, Gil was young. Live. And I'm telling you that because you see that love that lady get, you see how you light up when I talk about your babies? Live. These people wanna laugh, they wanna joke, they wanna criticize. They don't know your pain, I don't know your pain. But I know one thing, them babies counting on you.
Trying to reason with Kodak on his recent struggles, as his life is a lot more than just him. According to Google, Kodak has 5 children, while also being the main breadwinner for his own personal family. This would really affect Kodak. He would hop on IG Live the following day, saying that he has never really felt true love before, which could be a reason for all of his recent struggles.
I know girl treated you right, Coco. Never, bro. I never had a bit of love. I never experienced love before. I never experienced it. I never experienced it, bro. I never experienced it, bro. I never did, bro. I never did, bro. I never experienced love, bro. I never did, bro. I never had it. I never had it, bro. I never had it, bro. I never had it.
The conversation with Wallow and Gilly really set Kodak on a straight path. After being clean for a few weeks, he was then invited to the White House, but it really seemed as if the nervousness of being invited to such an event really made him want to take something to calm him down.
So like imagine a world if all of us was just one color. If all of us was just blue or green. Oh, if everybody was smart, you gotta have some dumb people. Oh, what if everybody was rich? Who's gonna take the trash out?
With this then going mega viral online, Kodak would have to respond. He would apologize to everyone, saying he wants to use his influence for change and he's sorry for everything that he has done so in the past.
I'm honestly, I'm sorry to everybody.
I'm sorry to the people who I heard it. I'm sorry if you don't understand me. I'm sorry if you just don't like me. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, and I'm sorry, and I'm sorry to everybody that I've wronged, and I'm so sorry to all the times I made my mom cry, and I'm sorry to like all the girls whose heart I broke. I'm sorry to Young Miami, you know what I'm saying, for kind of disrespecting her and stuff like that. She accepted my apology.
She did?
Later on that night, he would give even more apologies, this time finally responding to Kanye West, where it would be shared, Kanye's a real one. You want to know why? He's the only guy who still likes Diddy. I'm pretty sure the feds are going to seize all that boy's accounts. Kanye did some real stuff, and you know what? I'm going to do a collab with you so we can get some money.
Yeah. Kanye a real one. You know why you a real one? Cause like I'm some whole kind of like Kanye the only still did it, cause he know he ain't a lot of the other look at me unclean yeah, and why Kanye like.
The most concerning part of it all is everything I just shared will be shared with the judge in his case. Do you believe Kodak needs to be locked up to finally learn a lesson, or should he be sent to rehab? Comment your thoughts, I'll read them all, and like the video if you're a fan of Kodak. Meanwhile, YNW Melly committed two of the most serious crimes that you can ever commit, and his best friend just snitched on him.
Man, you better stop playing on my top, man. Y'all know it's sport man. I'm 10 toes down. I hold it down, stay solid. They hate it. Forward to go troll, they quick to pray. I'm a young G, just skated for license.
I guess at some point after the fact, the state wants to take a proffer from you or have a discussion with you, ask you some questions about whatever that may be.
He decides to flip and become a cheese eater.
As a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless.
YNW Borland has just spoken out about his plea deal in the YNW Melly case. Before hearing his jail call, it is important to note the Florida court system just announced they are concerned for Borland's safety. The News wrote today, as predicted, YNW Borland took the plea deal. He also agreed to a proffer, which means that he is talking. The sentence is to accessory after the fact, and he will do 10 years plus 6 years of probation, minus any credit and gain time. We've already requested his deposition in the civil case, alongside an email posted in the court system reading, given Mr. Henry's plea deal and proffer agreement, we request his deposition as soon as possible. Given the circumstances, we are concerned for his safety, so we would like to facilitate it in the next 30 days. Please advise if you continue to represent all of the defendants, meaning the prosecutors think that YNW Borland will get caught lacking in his cell block before delivering the incriminating proffer against YNW Melly. This resulted in a message from YNW Borland from jail trying to counterpoint the email.
Man, you better stop playing on my top, man. Y'all know it's sport, man. I'm 10 toes down. I hold it down, stay solid. They hate it. Forward to go troll, they quick to pray. I'm a young G, just skated for license. But I look like taking the deal that hurt my. I look like giving a about how y'all feel. I'm a young fly. Be back to raise and prevail. Damn, why they want to take that L? Don't you know you can see the dirt for even speaking that L? It's sport the sport name a part of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. YNW for L never be stopped. Let's stop playing on my top like y'all know what the f going on, man. Hey, free me email me. Boys.
What could be an effort for YNW Borland to try to save his rap career for when he does get released, he won't have the snitching label on his name. DJ Akademiks would expose what is really happening here. Akademiks wrote, the judge says on both charges, YNW Borland pled no contest. To that, he has to provide a factual basis for him to accept the plea. This means you have to tell a factual story of how you indeed committed accessory to the crime, which confirms the crime happened, which YNW Melly is charged with. This is a Gunna plea deal, except with the proffer, he can't say yes ma'am, he's gotta sing like Franklin. As DJ Akademiks would further explain how it's a plea deal similar to Gunna's.
I did tweet out saying people are upset. I said this is a Gunna plea. This is a Gunna plea. This isn't a plea saying you have to tell on him, but this is a plea that you're going to have to provide all the details that they were missing to convict him.
And that's why it's a Gunna plea. Why do I say he signed a Gunna plea? Because YNW Melly, and I watched the case, we covered it. YNW Melly's case is that, number one, you guys have not done a job to prove that this is actually they have proved, but prove that this is a homicide with this person being the offender. Also, the accessory after the fact plea confirms that Bortland, that's kind of like almost like a sub part of a conspiracy, except you weren't with the conspiracy at first. You came in after the fact. What that proved is that they came in. Oh my God, my dog's crying. What that proved is that Bortland worked with someone after he acknowledged that a took place in trying to cover it up. You hear what I just said? When pleading to an accessory to after the fact, you have to acknowledge that the happened and you assisted someone or in some way to cover the. Now, if Melly's statement is, how do we know that? And then secondly, how do we know who did it? Because they said it was a drive-by.
An easier way to understand what Academics is saying is YNW Bortland does not have to snitch against YNW Melly, but he is required to tell the prosecutors how the crime actually happened from his own perspective. Somebody inside of the car where the crime occurred. Regardless if he says Melly's name, when he tells the police how Sack Chaser and Juvie passed from his own perspective inside of the car, it will confirm that there was never a drive-by that happened, and YNW Melly's defense will be cooked. The prosecutors will be able to tell if he's telling the truth in his proffer deal because of what happened when he was sentenced. It was announced YNW Bortland has agreed to a plea deal. In exchange for his plea, he will be sentenced to 10 years in prison, followed by 6 years of probation. He was facing multiple life sentences, but as part of his plea deal, Bortland agreed to tell everything he knows about the YNW Melly Double M case. Even the judge said, "I don't know how your lawyers pulled this off."
And it's my understanding that you want to resolve both cases today. Is that correct? Yes. And that resolution is an agreement you've reached with the state, the terms of which are as follows. Number one, in the 19 case, you're going to plead no contest to both counts of accessory after the fact. In the 23 case, you're going to plead no contest to all 4 counts as charged. In exchange for that, the state is going to null process, that is, drop the 2 first-degree. In exchange for that, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty on the 2 accessory counts as well as the tampering count. I'm going to sentence you to 10 years in Florida State Prison.
This is the greatest plea deal of all time. From 5 life sentences down to 10 years in prison with time served, this resulted in the news of Lil Wayne and Kodak Black's attorney, Bradford Cohen, says YNW Bortland has bit the cheese and is likely to flip on rapper YNW Melly after accepting plea deal in the Double M case.
All right, let's talk YNW Melly and YNW Bortland. He is now doing the Triple Lindy. For those youngsters that don't know what the Triple Lindy is, it is when you do several flips off a high dive, and he will be flipping. He is going to be tell-all about anything he knows about the double case, and they will know if he's telling the truth or telling a lie when he gives his full quote-unquote confession as to what happened that evening. And that's what happens. A lot of times where guys are in the prison for 4 or 5 years awaiting trial and looking at a life sentence, and they're offered 10 years where they'll be home probably in another 3 years that he'll serve, he decides to flip and become a cheese eater. And that's what happens a lot of times on these cases. And I was expecting it to happen a lot sooner than it did. He held out for quite some time. But long story short is it looks like he's going to flip, and it makes the case on YNW Melly, depending on what he says, which I anticipate he'll say that YNW Melly is responsible.
Even 6ix9ine would write, YNW Bortland just accepted his plea deal with prosecutors. YNW Melly is cooked. I've been told you all about these rap guys years ago. Because they were scared of how big I was, everyone singled me out. As even the judge told YNW Bortland inside of the courtroom, the prosecutors are gonna want him to do an interview.
Sir, lastly, and I want to make it very clear on the record, and it's unrelated to this negotiated change of plea, I guess at some point after the fact, the state wants to take a proffer from you or have a discussion with you, ask you some questions about whatever that may be. What I want you to understand, sir, is I guess that's part of this negotiated resolution, but your answers to any of those questions, whatever they might be, have no bearing on me and have no bearing on this negotiated resolution. In other words, the deal you've negotiated is the deal you've negotiated, and that's the ballgame. Do you understand all that, sir? Have you had enough time to talk to your lawyers about all that? They've answered all your questions? You're sure that that's what you want to do?
This would end up resulting in Offset tweeting, "Damn, Melly really getting snitched on by his best friend. Free that boy, he's been locked up for way too long." However, Borland did not have a choice. This was the prison sentence he was facing. Comment down below if you would have accepted the deal too.
Mr. Henry, do you understand the offer that the state is making to you? Okay, you're charged as follows. Counts 1 and 2 is the first degree with a firearm. Those are capital felonies, which means it's a mandatory life sentence. If the jury convicts you of count 1 or count 2 as charged, that's life in Florida State Prison. I have no discretion. Count 3 and count 4 are accessory after the fact to murder in the first degree. Those are each first degree felonies. The maximum penalty for each of those is 30 years in Florida State Prison. Count 1 is tampering with a witness in a capital felony. That is punishable by life in Florida State Prison. Is directing the activities of a criminal. That's a first degree felony punishable by life. So the maximum penalty there is also life in Florida State Prison. Count 5 is conspiracy to commit tampering. And again, as it's charged, that is also a life felony. As to all the charges that you're facing, the maximum possible penalties are as follows. Life in Florida State Prison, followed by 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 75 years in Florida State Prison.
They are creating a plea deal with YNW Borland for 3 specific reasons. One being, YNW Melly and his own lawyer literally snitched on Borland first in the original trial. What you didn't even know is Melly's lawyer already pinned the crime against Borland.
Those were his lies. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with 2 bodies, a car riddled with bullets. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Cortland Henry.
Where Melly's lawyer revealed to the jury it was Borland that was lying to the feds. He was the one with powder residue on his hands, and that he was the last one with Juvie and Sack Chaser when they passed. They even went as far as to bringing a forensic scientist that covered the passings to go into further detail of Borland having the powder residue.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained 0 particles characteristic of powder residue and 2 two-component particles, and the left hand contained 1 particle characteristic of tar residue and 1 two-component particle.
Okay. And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was tar residue present on the hands.
What you also didn't know is this is the last time that Melly and Borland have even spoke to each other. When Melly's mistrial was granted, a report shared YNW Borland tweets a mysterious message on the same day Melly's mistrial was declared, tweeting, "Mind games don't work on people like me," alongside a handshake emoji as if he's accepting some sort of deal. Fast forward a few years, and he accepted the plea deal. But what you also didn't know is on the night of the crime, Borland did an interrogation. The officer would flat out ask him, "If you know who did this crime, would you tell me?"
By just telling me the truth, even if it's something that I don't want to hear, but I respect the truth rather than BS, okay? And it's a simple question. If you knew who did this, okay? You may or may not know. If you knew who did this, would you tell me? It's either a yes or no question. Answer.
Honestly?
Yeah, honestly. The truth. You wouldn't?
Because I wouldn't want to be a part of that. I wouldn't want to be
where Borland doesn't even give a firm yes or no answer using his voice, and instead he shakes his head no. This is because if it was Melly who did the crime, he would know that. So saying no to the officer in a high pressure situation would have caused his voice to either crack or come out at a different volume than he's been using throughout the entire interrogation, which is due to him lying. This is a clear indicator to police Borland never even wanted to be involved. He knows what happened and he just wanted out. The feds already have evidence of YNW Melly admitting to it. All they needed was Borland.
The PT Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly account says what?
After that, SHHHH.
But with Borland getting the plea deal and not YNW Melly, this was a major hit for Melly. He was feeling very confident about his upcoming retrial. He even ordered a $100,000 chain while in jail that he can wear if he beat the case again.
I would assume
But it's still,
that he spent a lot of money on lawyers. Like an amount that would probably...
That kid spent a lot of money on a lot of things that shouldn't have been spent on.
Really? Like what else?
And cars, jewelry. And he's not even out to wear the jewelry. I'm like, why are you buying jewelry? You're not here to wear the jewelry.
No, definitely lawyers are probably the best thing you can spend
That's
money
what
on.
bro. But he's good with lawyers, bro. Like, money ain't an issue for lawyers. Like, he's fine, but it's just like, there was a lot of stuff that should have went to lawyers that he didn't spend on lawyers. And I'm like, bro. And now it's like, he don't even want to change no more.
But things get even more interesting when you learn how the prosecutors actually set up the plea deal with YNW Borland. It started when the news wrote, YNW Melly's double retrial has been postponed once again. During the hearing on Friday, the 4th District Court of Appeals granted a stay in the case, allowing time to consider a motion by the state attorney's office. The stay means the trial will not begin in September and has been pushed back into January of 2027. Now, with the trial delayed, they made a deal with YNW Borland, as they delayed YNW Melly's trial for over a year, so they had enough time to create the plea deal with YNW Borland. Before the plea deal even existed, the news wrote, a no communication order has been filed in the YNW Melly trial. The order makes Melly and Borland completely separate, no talking, no lawyer talk, just silence, as the prosecutors' plan the entire time was for Borland to give up information on YNW Melly.
Issue here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. It just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking the penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
Having YNW Borland on their side increases their likelihood of finding Melly guilty in the next trial, as all he needs to do is confirm the evidence in his proffer deal, saying where certain things were and where certain people were sitting, and Melly's done. But what's even more concerning is Borland has every single reason to snitch against Melly because of what was found inside of his home.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Borland was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortland, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Dimmons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortlen allegedly tampered with the witness.
It would be announced by Bryson Paul. Here are the images of alleged notes discovered during the home raid of YNW Bortlen's home last week, as filed into the Broward clerks. Alongside these photos of Bortlen drawing on a piece of paper where certain jurors were sitting on the first day of the original Melly trial, alongside a description of what they looked like. As before Melly's court day started in the original trial, Bortlen showed up to court to be given his own trial date. When leaving the courthouse, he left a mental image in his head of where the certain jurors were sitting and what they looked like. He arrived home and drew out all of it on a piece of paper. But it's very likely after watching the first day of trial live stream where he saw Melly's lawyers telling the jury that Bortlen was the one lying and he was the last one with Sack Chaser and Juvie, he stuffed the pieces of paper into his suitcase and put it in his closet. As even academics would go on to say, there's a chance if this jury found his best friend guilty in that crime, Bortlen was getting ready to slide on him.
To keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortlen, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Holy sh! Like, come the f on. It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
But here's where it gets very concerning for Melly, and let me explain. YNW Bortlen will be able to validate all of the new evidence the prosecutors want to use against Melly, such as why did rapper Fredo Bang pick up YNW Melly on the side of the road of the night of the crime, instead of going to the hospital with Bortlen.
And Chris Thomas are. So what you're also going to find out is while Mr. Devins is out there on the side of the road, 4 in the morning, 4:42 specifically, he sends a drop pin, digital homing beacon, to his current location, to one of his friends, Frederick Givens. Frederick Givens is also involved in the music industry, and he asked to be picked up. Frederick Givens, then about 11 minutes later, is sent another drop pin, where Mr. Devins has moved a couple of meters. What you're going to find out as well, though, is these digital leashes, they have more than just phone calls.
But they also want to use evidence from a Facebook post of YNW Melly with Young Thug, where they're trying to say that Melly is a part of the same Red Street team that Young Thug is.
Same thing, the use of the slap term, 5-point star, snake. He's saying he's YSL, and he puts up his YNW for life hashtag on it with Mr. Devins has the big B hand signs displayed.
Right, and these individuals again, I'm assuming that's also Young Thug. That's also unknown.
Yes.
Also important to your investigation, correct?
Yes.
Also publicly available for anyone to see and capture.
Where you can even see YNW Melly inside a court yelling at his lawyers to just allow them to use the evidence. They know that Bortlen will just validate the evidence anyway during his interrogation. Where the news wrote, today's hearing marks the first time YNW Melly publicly went against his legal team's advisement in open court, where Melly was seen yelling at his lawyer.
Yes, sir. Against our advice, our client wants to proceed.
You objected to their request. We need to determine this automatic stay.
Based upon what our client has instructed us, yes, sir.
According to sources, people inside of the courtroom overheard what Melly was saying, where he said, quote, "I don't care. I'm not in no gang. They can't prove that."
I'm aware that 924-071 call for an automatic stay while
they were aggravators. They go to membership in a gang. There are things that the jury would have to find before going into penalty.
Not aggravator, that's the death penalty. Aggravator, that's the enhancement itself, Your Honor. That was charged. He was charged in committing the murder for the further conviction,
which is an aggravator in terms of the guilt.
Something that they would have to find by way of an interrogatory.
Yes.
But a very new, interesting piece of evidence coming from an ex-O-Block member would then surface online. Before King Von passed and Melly was arrested, the two were best friends. King Von told people inside of O-Block that Melly was asking him for advice on how to handle people.
Did Vaughn really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Vaughn was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? Walk the bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
So now with the prosecutors having YNW Bortlen under a plea deal, they would then do one more thing to make sure they will sentence Melly to life in prison in the next trial. Arguably, the only reason he wasn't sentenced in the first one was because his girlfriend Mariah Hamilton escaped the United States and didn't testify. However, she just tried getting back into the country.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
As Mariah tried getting back into the United States, after escaping for the last few years to avoid the original Melly trial, she missed her family and wanted to come home, but she would be immediately arrested at the airport when coming back into the U.S. After spending only 4 days inside a jail, she had her first court hearing, where she had a very rough time. The judge noticed it and made her a deal, saying if you agree to testify against Melly, you're free to go. She accepted it instantly, making it the worst news possible for YNW Melly. On her way home, she wrote on Facebook, "To my village, thank you to my village. I love you all so much. God's plan, not mine." They want her to agree to the evidence found that was inside of her iCloud account, where there is messages and voicemails of YNW Melly forcing her to not testify in trial, which is known as witness tampering by using a jail phone. This carries a life sentence in prison, regardless if Melly actually did the crime to sack Chaser in juvie.
The state filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
As according to sources in Melly's hometown, this was public knowledge. Everyone knows Melly made her leave the United States, so then she didn't go to trial. Even YNW Juvie's father exposed Melly was witness tampering with a jail phone in an interview.
There was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
Saying like to me, they going through extreme measures, trying to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom.
But what confirms that they have the evidence to prove it is YNW Melly's mother, Jamie King, doing an interview exposing the county jail for not allowing Melly to use a phone or even look at his own mail.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
Knowing Melly hasn't used a jail phone for over a year now confirms that the prosecutors and feds, they have the evidence to support the claim that Melly used the jail phone to commit witness tampering. They wouldn't just keep him off of the phone if it was a hunch, because that would result in a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. Due to this, Melly's mother would say she feels helpless because he's not even being treated like a human.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
This would get a lot of attention from the rap industry. Charleston White would react, saying this is what YNW Melly should be living like. He shouldn't get special treatment because he's a famous rapper. But comment down below what you believe.
Even the YNW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing about being mistreated when you done chose to play somebody.
Even rap OG Boosie would speak on the stress that Jamie King has been going through.
Okay, so
then I met his mama while he was in.
Oh, okay.
I met his mom while he was in, and she real, bro. You know, she real.
She's stressed out. I heard she had a...
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him, cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good woman, bro. And when I see them mamas like that, it remind me of what my mom was going through, bro.
However, the updates in Lil Durk's case reveal just how bad of crimes that he committed.
We want to begin now with some breaking news. Rapper Lil Durk is charged in a for hire plot.
Lil Durk's real name is Dirk Bank, and he is from Chicago. This is his mugshot from Florida, where he was arrested last night.
When the judge announced Lil Durk's release date, he fell to the floor. This is because the police created a new evidence file titled The End of Dirk Banks, which made rappers react to Lil Durk. There's even new evidence relating to Lil Durk playing a role in the passing of King Von. To understand his release date, it's important to know the new evidence against him, as Otia Vonnie's father snitched out not only his own son, but Lil Durk.
I'm gonna give you this. It's a back door and I got all the pieces. That's all I'm gonna tell you. As Durk asked Vonnie, is it open? Vonnie told him it's off the hinges.
Wait. Are you talking about the Von? Like King Von?
Listen very carefully. When the payment was made to Little Tim, the next day or the same day, Durk asked Vonnie, was it open? This is what he asked him. Was it open? This was his exact words. Was it open? He told him it's off the hinges.
Are you saying that Vonnie backdoor King Von? No way. That was right in there.
You heard what I just said. Guess what? You need motive first, right? Yeah. I got bankers that'll testify that or will make a contract or make a statement to you and let you know that this is the amount of money he had, this is what he had, this is that another. You need motive first and foremost. I got text messages from the lawyer letting you know that who told on Durk before, who told on Von before he died.
In these new evidence files, they even have clips of DJ Academics asking Vonnie's father why Durk would want King Von gone. They noticed at the time of King Von's passing, Von and Durk were facing a court case together. It ended up ending in a private settlement, meaning there is a high chance Lil Durk made a private deal with the feds, placing the crime onto King Von, who has sadly passed away, which in the end made the court case disappear.
Why would Durk want Von?
Let me give you this. First of all, you didn't sign your rights over. You ain't in no 360 deal. First of all, you can't bring nobody into the business and they surpass you. How you bring me to the table when I pass you up? Don't nobody want their chief spot taken, do they?
That's an interesting
Dude was
thing.
a slack. He was signing the boys. Von wasn't no slack.
That's interesting. I did find out that Von didn't have any contractual ties to Durk like that, which was interesting.
Come on, man. He wasn't even signed to him. How's this his friend? He lied on Breakfast Club and said, "Hey, you think your man would be sitting here with $300,000 worth of jewelry on and he not have an attorney? He got a public defender."
This is then when a tweet went viral reading, OTF Vonnie's dad leaking that Dirk had Von dealt with is really making me wonder why Dirk suddenly goes on IG Live when he is connected to somebody passing. He went on live the moment King Von, Lil Pab, and FBG Duck all passed, which makes some fans believe that Dirk uses IG Live as a live action alibi. However, it's what the feds would say next in the new file, where they would mention Vonnie's father is very upset that his own son turned federal. It tweeted, OTF Vonnie's father reveals Vonnie allegedly orchestrated the passing of Lil Pab and King Von.
Oh no, he ain't take my advice. He ain't respond no back to me because this is on a tablet. He on a jail tablet when I sent that to him. He ain't respond nothing else to him. I told you he can't take my advice because they playing. They made themselves get caught. This is what come along with it. They wanted to get caught. You understand me?
Oh, that's what you meant by trenches paint. Okay.
What you mean trenches what?
Was it you that said that? With the whole narrative about Vonnie snitching with the text messages. Like that's
Yeah. I don't know who said that, but that was me.
But that was a focus. Everybody was trying to make it seem like that's what the text messages was about.
That's just saying what he finna cop out to and this, that, and that. And with me saying Von, some people like, damn, what he gonna tell on some words on Von?
I ain't gonna lie, I said that in my video. I'm intrigued to know what the Von name was for.
No, he ain't gonna tell him no Von. You gonna tell it just like you orchestrated Lil Pab. You orchestrated this, and guess who you work for?
Vonnie's father is from the street, where if somebody snitches, then you can snitch on them, and he didn't hold back. Comment down below if you would have done the same, because it was announced shortly after, Chicago rapper Lil Durk's sister-in-law calls King Von's cousin OTF Vonnie a rat and a snitch in the M for Hire Fed case post, meaning King Von's own sister is confirming what OTF Vonnie's father is saying. But everything would then be confirmed by the police when at the newest court hearing today, it showed that OTF Vonnie is no longer in the Bureau of Prisons custody, meaning that he has been released from jail, likely on house arrest, after giving information on Lil Durk. Vonnie would end up getting his hands on a cell phone, and he would message someone who he thought was close with him still, but they ended up snitching on Vonnie. They would leak the private conversation where Vonnie said, yeah, and I'm trying to plea out on a 32, which is the base for M for Hire. Max is 43, which is life, but I would get -2 points for a plea, -1 point for early plea, -2 points for no background, so then I'll have 27 points, which is only 5 to 7 years. It's better than that because I can't go to trial. I also might get an elbow. I don't want him to do me like they did the other boys. When Vonnie said he doesn't want to get got like the other boys, he's referring to OTF Jam and what happened to him, but more on that later. Due to this, the news wrote, Lil Durk's trial might be pushed back into January 2026 after co-defendants requested a later date, meaning Durk's own guys are making plea deals with the feds so they get lesser sentences. However, everything changed in the court hearing today, where the truth behind OTF Vonnie snitching and why he did it came to light, where it would be shared. In OTF, there is 3 main guys: Lil Durk, OTF Vonnie, OTF DD. It was announced the new Lil Ted body cam footage of him begging to snitch against Durk and OTF members have changed the case. Durk's lawyers submitted paperwork for an extended time on their bond proposal, raising the question of what did Lil Ted say to the feds. Ted is known as OTF DD's younger brother, who is Durk's main guy, but he is also related to OTF Vonnie. Lil Ted was picked up by police at a local convenience store when he had a firearm in his jeans pocket.
Really? Dude had a. What about that? A man had a with an extended clip. That's cool though, right?
At this moment, Lil Ted was driven to the police station, but before even getting inside, he had tears coming down his face as he would yell to police, I swear I'll tell y'all about the passings, hoping not to be placed into jail, but he was already way too late for him.
Come on. Hey, stop it. Stop it.
Everything. I swear to God, I tell you, I will tell you, please, I swear, please.
Being placed into the waiting cell, Lil Ted was seen crying his eyes out, wanting nothing more to just snitch on the team members he knows did crimes in OTF just so he can be taken out of jail. Remember, he's OTF DD's younger brother. DD has likely told him everything OTF has done.
Wait, hold on. You gotta relax for me, because I can't understand it. Relax. What's the number? 7 what you saying, man? We're gonna see what we can do for you, alright? We're gonna see what we can do for you. You gotta relax for me.
Relax, man. I'm gonna get a bus to prison. Relax.
You mean, no, I'm saying, what you talking about? I'm trying to get that.
With OTF DD being his older brother, when there was news of someone snitching with their family's last name in the court paperwork, everyone believed that it was just OTF DD, but in reality, it was his brother. With DD's brother and Vonnie both willing to snitch in their respected cases, it's realistically because their mothers and family members all sat them down in one room and convinced them to not throw their lives away. This is a very common tactic the police use when there's family members involved in one case. As while they were making plea deals to get their own situations better, what happened to Lil Durk is very concerning. The news wrote, Chicago rapper Lil Durk was involved in an altercation inside a jail this morning. This resulted in Lil Baby reacting, "I don't care about nothing else other than Durk right now. Free the bro." As the streets connected what actually happened, which began with a tweet of, Lil Durk's day one homie Gleesh passed away last night in Chicago, meaning there has now been several OTF members targeted, which raises the question, who would want revenge against OTF? Fans then noticed the same day OTF members were being dealt with, Quando Rondo and Lil Tim did separate interviews, but both said the exact same message and they were released on the same day. Many look at it like a weird coincidence, but others believe it's a way for the feds to not investigating them for putting a hit out on OTF members.
To know, like, shit, I was just protecting my little brother.
When you did finally find out that it was King Von who did it, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn, if Brian did that stupid shit last night, he still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, shit, I ain't no the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect to like his mama saying him shit like that, because I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type. Like, I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but it's like, they ain't never popped that shit off. That would have never happened like that.
Then in Quando Rondo's interview, he would say practically the same thing, saying that he wishes it was handled a different way.
Whoever on my side, they got kids and a mama that 100% love them. And at the end of the day, bro, all this bull that we talking about is stupid. That could have been handled a totally different way. It could have been handled to the point where a song and $3-4 million could have came out, or whatever like that. It could have got handled in a legit way, in a music way.
Two ops of Durk doing interviews on the same day, praising Durk and wishing things were handled different, while OTF members are being ran up on, and with Lil Durk targeted inside a jail, definitely does not seem suspicious. But here's where it gets very interesting. Redditors believe Lil Durk was targeted because he was just about to be released from jail. The news wrote, words from Durk's father have Durk being released on a bond. With this being his third attempt, his lawyers made an offer so great the judge can't refuse it.
I just left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son for the release for the third time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't pro-prosecutor, he wasn't pro-defense, but he was pro-justice. So he listened to all the evidence, and he's gonna give a ruling in the next few days about what his position is for the bond. But we were very pleased at how it turned out. So continue, family, friends, and fans, continue to keep us in your prayers, and we thank you. And inshallah, God willing, this be victorious for us, that we have a good ruling in our favor.
The prosecutors dropped evidence against him, which ended up giving Lil Durk a release date. The news wrote, today Lil Durk's court hearing had the prosecutors telling the judge they are willingly throwing away evidence against Durk while reading it out loud during his court hearing in front of everyone. I wonder how this will affect the rest of his bond hearing. As while Lil Durk's judge was thinking about giving Durk a bond release, the prosecutors would stand up and tell them, we would like to drop the evidence of Durk's lyrics, told me they got an Addy go, got location go, look on the news, see your son screaming no, no, then showing the judge the news video of Quando screaming no.
Right now, the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper
a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
While them dropping the evidence is great, it's the way they did it by broadcasting it to everyone inside of the courtroom, including the judge, on the day of Durk's bond decision. This would even get the attention of Charleston White.
This is a real victory. Now that demonic force was a dark force. It was a dark energy. I think we now finally get to put that fire out. I don't think we'll hear drill music ever again. I don't think drill rappers would ever be celebrated ever again. Down goes the drill. So this is a victory for law-abiding Americans who like hip-hop music but don't like the killing part of it.
While Charleston White hates the idea of Lil Durk being released, Durk's lawyer Drew Finling would reveal his release date, giving detail of prosecutors ruining their own case.
The other allegation they backed away from, which is huge, it shows the weakening of the case. Previously, the prosecution had alleged that Durk paid the bounty for the through one of his co-defendants, and they named the co-defendant. Now they've backed off that allegation. They're not actually saying that Durk paid the bounty through the co-defendant or anyone else. And the fact that they're not saying that suggests that previously they thought they were going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy, and now they know we're not going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy.
As Durk's lawyer mentioned, the case is getting weaker for the prosecutors, who can now no longer use his lyrics anymore. This resulted in Durk's lawyer calling the charges a joke, saying the feds only had lyric-based evidence against him, but now they're not even using it.
The case is as follows. So there was an indictment that did not name him, right? It named others, and then there was an unindicted person. And then 3 weeks later, that indictment was what's called the first superseding indictment, and it does name him. The indictment was identical, except the unnamed person now became Durk Banks. And this is the really important part, Act. The second indictment, what's called the first superseding indictment, only had one new fact. It had one new fact, and that was it alleged that there was a video by Durk that celebrated and monetized this.
However, a few days later, when the judge finally made his decision, Durk would be seen entering the courtroom. As the news wrote, the feds say Lil Durk would need to go completely broke and give up all of his property to be granted a bond. They fear that he might use his fortune to place bounties on witnesses.
No bond for Lil Durk. Let me tell you about what options he has left and why the bond was denied this time. Now, he's in federal court on a murder for hire charge where he faces the possibility of life in prison. What that means is, under the federal law, it is presumed that you do not get a bond because the charge and the penalty are so serious. So your lawyer has to go out there and show why you should get a bond. Now, ultimately, what the district judge decided to deny the bond on was a couple of factors. There's a couple $1 million being put up, but it's not all being put up by Durk. Some of it is from the label, and ultimately Durk has a lot more money and assets than what's being put up. So if I let him out on bond and he tries to flee, he's going to have tons of assets and money at his disposal. And
this resulted in a tweet that went viral reading, "If you think Durk was denied bond because he's rich, you know nothing about the case. Didi's brother literally just snitched on all the OTF, and instead of making it public, they're hiding it to either catch Durk's lawyers by surprise. As the feds are concerned, if Durk is released, he will place more bounties on his ops and people that are involved in the case, so then he has an easier chance in trial. But it seemed as if he already did. It was announced. Has anyone heard from OTF Jam after he snitched on Durk? Several OTF members are gone, but low-key he's been gone for months, as Jam was outed for being a snitch on DJ Vlad's show.
There's a guy named OTF Jam.
That was wired.
Very ironic name.
Jam
now
got
he
him
put
in
everyone
a
in a jam.
Did 12 years.
12
got
years.
out, interviewed, said he kept it real, brought him cars, gave him 50,000.
Right.
This. Made mention that ain't no smut on his name. He ain't never been a rat. Caught a gun case.
but eventually he flipped.
Once this hit news headlines, the news read, OTF Jam was found by OTF members. Hiding out in a crib outside of Atlanta, sources claim Jam was dealt a punishment for snitching on OTF owner Lil Durk, alongside a photo of a crime scene outside of a house that Jam was staying at. This is because of what OTF Jam provided to the police. It reads, over 230 gigs of digital evidence, which includes audio recordings, video surveillance, and 20,000 pages of reports, are currently being processed for discovery, as Jam ended up supplying them with the evidence through a wire, where he was seen holding the top of his jacket, whispering in it during an IG live.
Hey, Gabe! Give me the check on your man. I heard you got his head. I ain't gonna lie, man. Hey, when I was growing up, I never having a dare. Architect. Having a dare.
However, months before ever being arrested, Durk knew Jam was acting strange. It was announced Durk isn't playing 3D chess the entire time. He knew that Jam was gonna cooperate.
I see from a mile away.
I don't think people realize that.
I can have a conversation with you for 5 seconds and know your cooperate.
Durk would later speak further on this, saying that he doesn't even allow friends to know where he lives anymore and gives no information to anyone. You can tell just how sad he is knowing Jam snitched.
Nobody is ever allowed to my house. It be my best friend never been to my house.
For real?
I promise.
Your best friend?
I promise. Like, it's people like that I just don't allow around my girl and my kids. Cause it's like, I'm just a different type. I'm not the, we're gonna have family night at Durk house tonight. It's the, you gotta watch,
everybody at Durk's crib.
Yeah, we gotta, everybody getting watched. We gotta watch everybody. Hey, they go too close to them kids. You know what to do. Like, that's how I play. Like, I don't play. I see from a mile away.
I don't think people realize.
It's important to remember that OTF Jam is the same man Durk gifted $50,000 to during this Instagram live. But pay attention to those in the background of the video. It's very important for what happened next.
You know what's name, bro? Steady crying, huh? He's steady crying. Feed him. Feed him. Get in the milk, bro. Get in the milk so they want me to trick, bro.
You see that?
Feed
for my baby. That's really how y'all hold y'all babies, ain't it? I gotta hold my money like this. It's too much. Crazy though. Sitting up there doing all this, sneak this and the internet games and all this. Up some money, do something. Like, we winning, bro. I can do it. Whatever it is I want to do, I can do it. Just not what I want to do what I want. Y'all can't do that, bro. Goof,
bro got out what?
You know that
how many you did off?
How many years I did it now?
Yeah, that's your last bit. 12.
12.
That boy popped out 12 years.
Yeah.
So much money. We really just get in order to just figure out the lanes, man, boy.
The feds investigated those in the background of the IG live. With the help of OTF Jam, they noticed that these are the same men that were jewelry shopping with King Von, making it very obvious they were all very close friends, but they were also involved in the passing of Lil Pab.
Solitary stone.
We just looked at him, man.
Let's go over there.
What up, bro?
Boss, you good? My boy. Let's go.
They got real in here, man, because he just stepped in. The money man just stepped in.
However, even with all of this, Durk still has one last chance of being released from jail, where academics would then ask if Durk would entertain a plea deal to his lawyer. Drew would say, no, we're going all the way. But comment down below if you think that's smart.
You know, likelihood of a plea. I think a lot of people have seen, like, this seems like it's a do or die thing. This is kind of like it's gonna be like a 1 or 0 type of situation. You're either or you're not. Is Durk, from your understanding, or you as a lawyer right now, as his criminal attorney, are you open to possible conversations about plea deals? Are you thinking, no, we're going all the way? Would you entertain it, just entertain it, because that's your job to listen to it and maybe present it to Durk, or that's just off the table?
It's a conspiracy commitment case. It's an all or nothing case, and he did not participate in a conspiracy to commit. And so there is no alternative. It's a life sentence, potential life sentence. So this case is going to go to 12 people.
They're going all the way for one specific reason. Durk's lawyers have been keeping this in their back pocket to win the case, explaining that all Durk does online and in music is express his First Amendment right. If you want Lil Durk released, like the video. Curious how many of you do.
There's a First Amendment argument here, right? That this violates the First Amendment. Can you talk about that?
Right, for sure. I mean, I'm expressing myself. I can say the things that I want to say in a rap record or any kind of record. And you could go back and there's country records and there are pop records and there are R&B records that talk about all kinds of things. It's just that there's this notion that with hip hop, quote, glorifying violence, that suddenly now we're going to use these things to prosecute them. But does that mean that the free speech, the First Amendment has gone away? No, absolutely not. He can absolutely rap about what he wants to rap about, and that doesn't mean just because the story is violent.
However, one of the most serious crimes committed by an artist in 2025 was from David. Investigators are finding more and more evidence against David in Celeste's case, which rules out one massive theory. It reads, TMZ confirms that Celeste was not pregnant. This shuts down the theory that David got her and put her in his Tesla because she was pregnant. But even more evidence came out, which was shared. David update. An alleged photo of David wearing a similar wig to one Celeste Rivas was wearing has surfaced online. One reply even read, she looks about 10 years old here. How can his friends say that they thought she was 19? But investigators believe the setting of the photo of David wearing the wig plays right into what he said, where he likes to believe that sometimes he lives in an anime-like world. He likes to imagine that he's the character who likes to go commit serious crimes and live in other realities.
Basically, an agent of chaos and kind of my alter ego, and the story of the manga went like I was a detective and there was an evil version of myself that would kind of come out at random moments, kind of like Fight Club with Tyler Durden, and he would commit the crimes that I would have to solve as the detective. So like when I was as the detective, I'd be like solving that I'm committing myself. And it was like a cool little story. I didn't think anything would come of it. Like it was in the vault for.
Like the video if this is weird to you, because another reply read, there's hundreds of crimes that he could have used as an example when describing his alter ego, but he chooses to say that. I cannot be the only one who sees how obvious this is, seeing as when he was describing his alter ego, the one crime he went to is the exact crime that happened to Celeste. However, this wasn't the only thing investigators found. What they found next even resulted in David giving his first reaction. When it was announced, a Redditor went to David's house this morning and allegedly found a Tesla key right outside of the front of the house in a gutter behind some leaves. He claimed to have informed the police. Pretty crazy if this is real, as when the police arrived, they would claim the Tesla key card. Tesla owners then confirmed the color of the key card goes with the type of Tesla that David owned. That was shared on the news.
Discovery in Los Angeles has led to a police investigation on the West Coast. Authorities say they were called to an impound lot in Hollywood after someone noticed a foul odor coming from a car. Once inside, they discovered a wrapped in plastic. The car, which was a Tesla that belonged to a singer and Queens native who goes by the name David, spelled with A4. Period.
More importantly, the key card was found right outside of the home, in line with the garage. This is because it was announced, per TMZ, police suspect Celeste's crime took place inside of the home where David was staying. Investigators obtained a search warrant to look around for evidence inside the residence. The results of the testing have not yet been released, but it's this area where there is 3 garage doors. TMZ wrote, the homeowner says the cameras are positioned at the entry points in the backyard and on the street. He believes people cannot go in or out of the house without being recorded, which means the feds will go back into the home security footage. The police will attempt to go back to any date where they knew Celeste was still alive, such as at the local August 24th concert, where it was noted David's brother and Celeste in the VIP area at David's Silver Spring concert last August 24th, where fans' recordings of David's concert shows multiple photos of Celeste standing in the VIP area with with David's brother. But here's where it gets very odd. Celeste is seen with David's brother very often, even being seen backstage with him when it was announced. If this video is accurate, it means Celeste was still alive on June 27th, 2024, allegedly seen backstage at a David concert with his brother. Look closely, wearing the Hello Kitty sandals. According to her missing person poster, her family noted she was last seen wearing Hello Kitty sandals, the exact same ones she was wearing backstage at David's show. But moments later, David would then give his first reaction to all of this new evidence being released. Fans even wrote, "There's no way that is David's first response to all of this happening. If he knows that he's innocent, shouldn't he have gone about this in a much different way, rather than letting his career dwindle down?" But to understand his response, it's important to know that he did it right after an old interview went viral, where David says that he wants to live on an island with no social media in 3 to 4 years, coincidentally when Celeste would have turned 18.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Okay, so the plan is hopefully this music thing takes off crazy next year.
Why is he saying, why are you saying that like you're not like up there?
Well, I'm not there yet, but hopefully it's like even crazier next year. And then I go on crazy year after year for the next 3 years, and then on the 4th year I retire. And on the 5th year, I'm off the grid, living somewhere like on an island with this crazy crib. No social media, no digital footprint. I'm just gone. I'm just gone. In 5 years, I'm gonna be gone.
Will you still remember me?
Yeah, bro. You'll have like the secret codes to the mansion.
Yeah?
You can pull up on every
What's the secret code? Give us the first 2 numbers.
Absolutely not.
Where fans would note, the question was, where do you want to be in 5 years? But he mentions that he wants to be there in 3 to 4. One comment even wrote, "This clip was posted in January of this year, so she was 14, meaning it was 4 years to her 18. Then later on in the year, she was supposed to turn 15, 3 years to her 18. So he said 3 to 4 because he was basing it off of her birthday. But then moments later, something else would be found, so serious that David would give his first response, hoping to take the attention away from it. Fans noticed that at David's recent concert, he was wearing a set of new bracelets. These match the exact same bracelets that Celeste is wearing in a photo that her own family took of her. Celeste's mother would share this photo to her social media, clearly revealing the bracelets that Celeste would wear. Then at David's concert, he was seen wearing those exact ones. This resulted in David wanting something else to get attention, giving his first response by playing Fortnite, where it was announced, "If anyone is wondering where David is right now, he is lurking and literally playing Fortnite just recently." We're on a Fortnite tracking website. He knows that his account is public and followed by hundreds of thousands of people. So when he plays Fortnite, they all get notified on the website, where his account would be seen playing multiple games of Fortnite within the same hour of the bracelet evidence coming out. With the case getting very serious and the police working every minute to figure out what happened to Celeste, they would open an evidence file against him, and here's what is inside. You tell me if he's guilty after hearing it all. As they would note, David would soft launch his relationship with Celeste during a Twitch stream when it was announced. A resurfaced clip from David of January 11th, 2024 shows him with Celeste Rivas on stream, where he is seen telling his mods to delete all VODs and clips after he ends the live.
Yo, wait.
Oh, look it. Answer that one. That's so mean if you don't answer
Which one? What's good to have a big family by me? Oh, thank you. Mitchell.
I gotta stop with him if you even. We need to delete this.
Maz, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too?
Which was the first time that David showed her publicly, revealing her name, but the police found evidence proving the relationship started a long time before that live stream occurred. In Discord messages from his own fan server, David messaged in 2022, "Is Celeste in here?" She responded, "Hi David, bark." As the news would write, Discord messages timeline reveals David was dating Celeste when she was 12. He was 17. Her last message on Discord was 3 months before she went missing in 2022. 2024. However, investigators would note in the evidence file, the fan Discord was a real problem. Fans of David were even frustrated because they weren't getting the same attention David would give other fans, confirming there's a lot more to him than what we know. Two people in the server even wrote back and forth, he only adds certain girls. I know, right? I'm not joking either. To even another conversation reading, David only talks to women from the server. Oh, bro is like that. They're also usually 15 to 16. While I can't say certain words on here, you begin to get the idea. This is from a very reputable source as well. In 2022, the man with the Discord conversation actually made music with David. He would even give a video statement recently about his relationship with David and what would happen inside of the fan Discord.
And I just want to clear up that the stuff from 2023 was not about the Celeste girl that was obviously recently in the news. It's nothing to do with her. I didn't know about her. I didn't know she was 13. I maybe heard her name once or twice. I had nothing to do with her. The stuff I have from 2023 was nothing to do with Celeste. These were other girls, underage girls, that had claimed David had messaged them or had, relationships with them or, doing things with them. And I want people to know that in 2023, I did try and bring the situation to light. And a lot of people remember, I was having a lot of... It got so bad that David's legal team had got in contact with me to remove everything. I've attached an email here that I received from his team in 2023. And basically they removed my song with David from, streaming services because apparently I was spreading misinformation. The thing is, after that, I got in touch with David and I was like, yo, are the claims true and all of this? And he was like, he literally said, I've got it here. He said, no, it's just some people trying to get clout. There's no evidence and stuff. After that, everything was shut down. Everything, no one else came out after that.
But here's where it gets a lot stranger. They would end up finding another live stream clip, but this time from a Twitch streamer that ran into David at an arcade who just so happened to be with Celeste.
Yeah, that's order.
Why you look good?
Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
W's in the chat, man.
But this is where things get very odd. While some believe that isn't Celeste, it's important to note the person in the Twitch live stream is wearing the same Gap sweater that Celeste is seen on her missing persons poster, as well as the glasses she is wearing are the exact same glasses she is wearing on FaceTime with David in the exact same room. Comment if you think that was her, but here's where it gets even worse. It would be announced, new confirmed leaked messages from David on the app Discord reveals his relationship with Celeste, where there is messages in David's server from over a year ago where he wrote, I'll join the group chat with wifey and give y'all the story time. Me and deleted user got a kid on the way, where the deleted user was confirmed to be Celeste. Even though it was also confirmed she wasn't pregnant, this type of message still gives off the evidence that they were in a very serious, deep relationship. But there would also be confirmation deleted user was Celeste. That user's account posted 2 photos in David's server when he announced that, one being her own hand with David tattooed on her finger, the other of her and him sitting down backstage. This would get the attention of DJ Academics, who would then look more into the song titles, as there's so much physical evidence, he might hint towards it in his music.
Crashing. Where'd it go wrong? Ghost. Where did you go? Afterlife?
Like the video if this is weird to you, because Academics found it very strange. But during his own stream, more evidence would leak online. One being a video of David cleaning Celeste's shoes outside of his home. These are the same Jordans that she was wearing on the school bus, where this photo was her profile photo for over a year. This resulted in Celeste's brother speaking out for the first time. Her brother wrote, "Why are people saying that I knew more when I didn't? So I don't know why people are lying trying to make me look bad. Celeste did nothing but love me, and I was one of the only people that she loved. I never knew information about anything up until the last time that she left." Her brother just wants to know what happened to his sister, which is when an investigator wrote, the house where a search warrant was done yesterday, near where the Tesla registered to David was found with Celeste in it, appears to be linked to David, possibly leased by him or someone else. A May 2024 Google Maps image shows a similar Tesla parked in front of the home. The property is currently being listed for lease at $20,000 a month and has been on the market since January. It also happens to be Halle Berry's former home. Yes, there is a million black Teslas in LA. I have no idea if this is the same one, but I wouldn't be surprised. Located on the street of David's home, you can see his car sits parked. Notably with Teslas, they have a 360 camera recording on a motion sensor, meaning if you walk in a certain distance towards the car, the camera automatically switches on, it records everywhere around it until the motion is gone.
David Tesla was repoed on September 8th. He started his tour August 5th, 9th. They said the car was sitting for over 30 days before it got repoed. He reported it missing in between that, but it's been sitting before he started his tour. He called to report a Tesla missing. Now chat, anybody in chat, go to Google and say, can I call Tesla? If my Tesla is missing, can I call Tesla to track it? Watch what it shows you. To call Tesla, a Tesla of all cars you reported missing. When you can call Tesla and get it tracked, that don't make sense. They said the car was sitting for over 30 days. So from when the car was impounded on the 8th, we can add 31 days plus add some change. That's days, if not a week or more, before he started his tour, bro. Dating a 13-year-old, bro. Probably got a that's why he did that.
Like the video if you believe David played a part in the crime. I'm curious how many of you do, and comment down below what you think happened to Celeste. I'm gonna read them all, because what happened to Celeste is very similar to the lyrics in David's famous song.
In the back of my mind, you died. It's kind of like the storytelling aspect of the lyrics that came before it, in a way that it builds up to the big moment where she in the back of my mind. Like, I didn't physically, but in the back of my mind, she died. And I didn't even cry, not a single tear.
Meanwhile, Young Thug was released from jail on a probation agreement, but now he just committed a violation to it, which will result in him returning to jail.
You are what you are, buddy, but yeah, you is a snitch too. And I ain't happy about it, I'm mad about it, because I've been knowing this the whole time, and I didn't even say nothing. I sat right here and still let the blame be on me. Because of the love I have for you.
Talking about, and y'all heard what y'all own ears. Bro, if you sit down with 12, you mean to tell me this not making a rat by saying, they said Roscoe the bus up.
Man, what is he doing talking? A 2-hour interrogation, and you mad at Yak got it.
What? We told before Gunna, 2015.
The release of Young Thug's new song, Miss My Dogs, came with legal issues. The news wrote, the state of Georgia has filed a motion to revoke Young Thug's probation and send him back to jail. This got the attention of rappers in the industry, which resulted in a viral tweet reading, Benzino calls out the system for leaking Young Thug's private jail calls, saying that it was designed to bait him in while on probation. He believes the government purposely leaked them without any watermarks to sway public opinion.
What I'm more surprised at and more kind of pissed off at is how the is this even constitutional that a prison, which is part of the system, right, can leak private phone calls? I don't, that it blows me. How can that happen? Now they're saying, well, who leaked them? Somebody had to get money for them. Nah, because there's no watermark on them. If TMZ bought them, you can best believe TMZ's watermark will be all over that. There's no watermark. I guarantee the government's leaking them because they know what they're doing. They know, let me tell you something, from the feds to City Hall to the mayor to the governor, they all got a communications department where they have hired staff that all they do is look at social media for various reasons. That's it. And us as a community and culture, we just give them everything they want. It's easy.
This would get the attention of DJ Academics, who would go on to explain how Young Thug broke his probation. With the leaked jail calls coming out, Young Thug still wants to prove to everyone that he is a gangster, which is breaking his probation.
You know, I like all this wild stuff. I like Thug, I like Gun. I'm gonna like him before I'm gonna like him after. But I'm gonna tell you where they got wrong at. They've been propagating the street code. These are millionaires. Millionaires made it from the bottom. But they're obsessed with trying to portray the image that they're the realest street ever. I just seen Woody put up a post. He says, no, I'm not okay. Huh? Since when is street it sounded like little white girls Karen? Everybody in that situation need therapy. And the reality why they all need therapy is because they made it. When YSL was known by you and me, YSL was lit. It's popping. But they weren't happy with all the money and all. They still want to propagate the same. Then as soon as Johnny Law come, they don't want to do it no more. They start thinking about their mamas, their sisters, their kids. Never seen something like that. It's the first time I've seen gangsters need therapy.
With Young Thug wanting to prove to everyone that he is still a gangster, no matter what leaked online, it got him in trouble. But with him trying to prove that he is still a gangster, interestingly enough, the Young Thug jail calls and snitching videos only started leaking after Thug called out a woman police officer, the same officer Gunna made his plea deal with.
What Young Thug did to have and this is how you know this 4PF is real. Young Thug posted the woman. This is Marissa Vivierdo. He said, biggest liar in the DA office. He posted her, okay? And then he also reposted, all my homies hate Vivierdo. Now, this is someone who is a officer of the law. This is someone who is a government official. When you do that and you're under probation, the government is gonna be like, oh, you sending a smoke signal that people should hurt this woman? That's why they're doing a motion to revoke his shit. Why did he do this? Because she's testifying in the OMF case and she's basically saying, yo, OMF and 4PF, Lil Baby and them, they're beefing and is dying and indictments finna come down.
The moment Young Thug dissed the woman police officer, the Atlanta court system created a new file titled The End of Jeffrey, where they would put all of the evidence that breaks his probation in, and with the help of his two newest songs, Miss My Dogs and Closing Arguments, they believe they have enough evidence to put him back into jail. You tell me if this will affect his probation, such as the intro of the song. Young Thug is being seen being picked up in an Escalade. This was moments after he got released from jail. Notice his lawyer, Brian Steele, standing in the suit and tie that he was wearing when Young Thug was being sentenced in the courtroom.
Hope that you allow me to go home today and just trust in me to just do the right thing and never see you again. You find it in your heart to allow me to go home and be with my family and just do better as a person. I know what I...
So essentially, the total sentence is 40 years to serve the first 5 years in prison, but commuted to the time that you have already served, followed by 15 years on probation.
However, it's the lyrics in Young Thug's song that got him in trouble. In the song Miss My Dogs, Thug raps a verse saying, Drizzy, you my brother, you know I'm not going against you, I got manners, everything you did for the rap community, can't ban you, never diss you, came to visit me at Cobb County like my kin do, F the jail call, you know the other calls we had, trying to get Metro and Pluto on the same page. The internet don't know about it because real guys don't say. As Drake not only visited Young Thug at the county jail, but when Thug was released, Drake flew to him on a private jet and gave him $1 million in cash.
They say 2 hours afterwards, Drake flew to Thug and allegedly gave him $1 million. Drake didn't tell me. Drake gonna hit me up and be like, which, by the way, super strategic move. Super strategic. Thug was in jail talking about let's squash all this beef. If I'm Drake, I need Atlanta. Okay, so I got one Atlanta. That's what I. Supposedly Drake flew to wherever Thug was at. Gave $1 million. Y'all can't turn Atlanta against no big Drizzy. Get the fuck out of here.
But this is where the trouble began. It would get the attention of Yak Gotti, who would react on his Instagram story, revealing the truth.
Look, he said, I apologize, Drake. You need a future, just say that. Cause Drake, Drizzy went out here. Drizzy went in Atlanta with your soft. You get what I'm saying? And you know you don't want to get me started. I get started when I get started. But it be on my time. You see what I'm saying? Cause it's my turn. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. How would you even say my name? Somebody, why would you say my name? I'm the wrong person name anybody want to say. Like anybody in the whole world, the whole universe.
This would then end up making Tekashi 69 react, LOL, miss my dogs? You didn't miss them when you were snitching, you didn't miss them on the jail phone talking all that. Rap industry is doomed if you let the snitch be valid again, where he's referring to Young Thug's first verse where he says, baby I'm sorry, one of my biggest fears is losing you to the internet, waking up in our bed with you right by my neck, saying you don't break a sweat, pillow talking ain't my game, I love you, and I know you see this rain. Where Young Thug is saying that pillow talking isn't his game, like there wasn't 50 hours of jail calls leaked online. However, this verse was Thug's response to Mariah the Scientist breaking up with him. The news wrote, Thug was eavesdropped on speaking on the interrogation and jail calls at a music event last night. Heard saying, I didn't even know they was filming me the whole time. I just lost my girl over this, which is referring to academics posting, Thug is on the phone with his side girl talking about kids and whatnot. Damn mans can't even have a side piece.
Hello.
Sam, what you doing?
Nothing laid down. My heart beating.
You at home?
Yeah, I'm at home.
What's up with you, baby? I miss your pick.
I don't know. I wasn't expecting your call. So my heart is beating fast right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy that I make you feel like that for sure.
Crazy.
I wonder what your heart gonna do when I see you.
Oh my God, I don't know. Know what I would do. Oh my gosh. You said what?
I wonder what you're gonna do when I see you.
I have no idea. Oh my gosh.
But comment down below if you would cheat on Mariah, because Mariah would confirm the breakup with Young Thug. This resulted in Thug tweeting, chapter ended, and even tweeting, my baby, I was wrong. I'm sorry for what I put you through. You deserve better from me. Thank you for everything, and I'll do anything to make it work. You showed me what love is, and I hope I haven't lost you forever. But here's where the song gets very interesting. In Thug's next verse, he would rap about Lil Baby. This even made Lil Baby react in a way you wouldn't believe. Thug raps, wham, pick up the phone yet, talk to me at Spider, taught you everything you know about this, we for lifers, Rat's already winning, don't let this divide us, you're a real guy and you do real and hide it, gave a couple guys on the case $75,000, helping with their lawyers and never speak about it, I wish the world knew everything. However, no one would expect Lil Baby's reaction. The news wrote shortly after the song's release, Wolfpack Global Music, a label connected to Lil Baby, claims that he is retiring from music, alongside the IG post confirming it. This is because of Young Thug snitching in the interrogation room.
Listen.
Yes, sir.
Promises. Make promises. Just we'll keep promises. Whatever you anytime you ever think you want to know anything, tell me. I'll tell you anything. But don't tell the world.
What you got, bro?
Yes, you can.
Hey. I don't have your number.
Well, give it to me. If you ain't giving it to her,
as Lil Baby has now lost Gunna and Young Thug to them both snitching with the feds. Even in a leaked jail call, Young Thug called out Lil Baby for working with a rat, essentially trying to ruin his rap career. The news wrote, an alleged leaked jail call from Young Thug has surfaced where he's calling QCP a rat, and he calls out Lil Baby for working with him.
He did the same thing P did. Stood up in court. Man, that was wham, that was your ever get too, rocking with a rat. And you be preaching about that too, man. You can't do that, man. That's a fact, bro. A rat, bro. I understand all that help put you on. Listen, man. A rat, I don't give what hell. That give me $1 million. Man, you're a rat. Whatever you talking about. Imagine telling them niggas still beat the Kato.
Where shortly after, at the music event where Young Thug was eavesdropped on talking about Mariah, he also ran into Lil Baby, which led into a very awkward encounter. However, in the probation evidence file, they were able to gather a lot of evidence against Young Thug in his first response track titled Closing Arguments. This track was used to diss everyone that was dissing him. Meanwhile, Miss My Guys was an apology to those he still loves. However, in Closing Arguments, Young Thug would start the song saying, "Gunna a rat, yak a rat," laying it out on the line, those are the two true snitches of YSL. Those two were also involved in the YSL case, meaning Young Thug is not allowed to say anything about them. So that line goes against his probation. This would get the attention of Wack 100, who said because Young Thug dropped this track thinking that he was sweet, he's now gonna release the 2-hour phone call of Young Thug dissing Drake.
Hey, Wack, do you think it's over for Thug, man?
Yeah, we're gonna make sure that we still got about 2 more hours of content. We already sent Drake to 28 minutes in his head. We've been over him. I told him.
Wait. There's a 28-minute.
Listen what I'm trying to tell you, Act. I told the Pee Wee on your channel. I came on being humble. You know me. I said, oh, you speak for Thug? Then it's on. I'm about to over him. I told him that. The next day, it been on. And we not gonna stop.
But it's what Young Thug said next in the lyrics saying, "Can't compare no one to me. There's real rats around this place, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I did what I did, trying my best to help my brother, got a situation he was in, and I got no regrets for a fact." This would get the attention of YSL Mondo. Mondo claims that Young Thug is who started all of the snitching in YSL, and he was the main reason there was a YSL RICO case.
Didn't the Lil Wayne tour bus happen before Nut got, before any of that happened, before anybody else told him? You the first to tell, buddy. You the first going on the talking to the police. Facts. That was way before the goddamn before Nut got in some more. So you mean to tell me, buddy, you was the first? You the reason why the RICO started. And I ain't finna keep beating around the bush. You the reason why the RICO started, buddy. Let's keep it real. Come on, man, let's keep it real. But you the reason why the RICO started.
Which is when Young Thug did something that broke his probation again. He would end up tagging YSL Mondo in one specific jail call that was leaked, where Young Thug is clearly saying Gunna is the reason the YSL case turned RICO. Once again, dissing another person involved in the YSL case.
He gave the jurors the agreement that it's a gang. He said YSL is a gang, and he know people in this on this trial who committed crime in furtherance of the gang. That means you did it. You saying, you see what I'm saying? You don't know nobody on this case. Yeah. That's a lie. That's a full blown lie. I know individuals on this case that committed crimes in furtherance of the gang. Like yeah. Just so you can say slime big. Like that's real. That's what RICO is. That's RICO. So if you get found guilty on RICO, you really got a life hook, and you are 100% lying. You don't know nobody on the case. I ain't ever committed no crime. Duke ain't committed no crime. Yak ain't committed no crime. Them the only 3 people you know on this case. Ain't now one of them committed no crime. So who the f you talking about? You know YSL members on this case that committed crimes in furtherance of the gang. You just made it a RICO case. You just made it a case.
With the news of Young Thug breaking his probation to get revenge against everyone dissing him now going viral, 6ix9ine would end up reacting on IG Live.
Yo, I just want to know where all the energy at. The Young Thug situation, I stood quiet 2 days just watching it play out. Watching what excuses the people come up with. Every day, every year, every time I come out, y'all move the goalposts further. Oh, nah, bro, it's different. No, it's different, bro. It's different. You told, like, before 12 in the afternoon. Like, that's a forbidden rule. You can't do that. No, bro, it's okay, bro, because he told after 3, like, bro, it's so easy. They tell you have the right to remain silent. Anything used against you could be used in a court of law, whatever the case they say. You have the right to call an attorney right now. You spoke for 2 hours. 2 hours. It's me, the host. Like, I'm not saying that. Y'all heard what y'all heard. Where's all the energy at? Why hear everybody quiet?
Why Lil Baby, 21 Savage, Future? Why ain't I seen nothing?
Where YSL Mondo would come out to speak once again. He would not only mention there was a YSL iMessage group chat that everyone started leaving one by one right after the first snitching interrogation video was leaked, but he would also go on to share his own thoughts of Young Thug snitching.
I just beat him off a Rico. Come home, still talking about, oh, rat, da-da-da. Bro, that's God. That ain't nothing but God biting you back in your bro, cause you probably been thankful that you just beat a life sentence in a Rico and came home and minded your business and been humble. But instead, you still coming out pushing the rat narrative, bro, and all that, this, that, and the third. Now look, he came back and bought your bitch. But that ain't the key. The thing is, too, though, he brainwashed people. He still got motherfuckers on there talking about, and y'all heard it with y'all own ears. You got motherfuckers AI, it did that and the third, and oh, he ain't rat on nobody. Bro, if you sit down with 12 and bust out and say these words, if y'all talking about like Gunna Radish from saying, yes, ma'am, you mean to tell me this not making a rat by saying, they said Roscoe the bust up. And then a nigga, Roscoe did 10 years behind it. And you just got on the internet to didn't rat on you? Boy, so brainwashed, it's sickening. Y'all need daddy figures and y'all just be sitting back waiting on something good, waiting on something to happen. Like, yeah, I'm gonna stick around, maybe they'll put me on, maybe I can get some out. Roscoe, you the worstest. Twin, you worse than the rat itself. You did 10 years, twin, behind Roscoe. You did 10 years behind me, brother. And you just come on the internet and didn't tell on you when everybody just heard this man say your name a few times? You feel me?
With Young Thug's rap career now crumbling down, Huey Roscoe, the man Thug snitched on, would come out of nowhere trying to save him. It reads, Huey Roscoe addresses Young Thug supposedly telling on him in the interrogation room.
Politic, man, Jeff, clean as Listerine, man, clean as Ivory soap, you feel what I'm saying? I done the time, I did that. That's what you supposed to do. When you go in the interrogation room, that's what you do. He told you, man, we say the Wayne Carter, what's wrong with you? You feel what I'm saying? No, a statement is this right here. Lineup selective. That's him. He did that. He didn't do that. He did what a taxpaying citizen do. A real street. Kept it solid. Kept it overly real. You feel what I'm saying? Really tried to pull me out the hole. So, I don't know. You feel what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to the PR now, y'all don't remember when I was locked up. Now, let me just show you how the PRs and the internet selective politics. You know what I mean? We're gonna keep it real. When I was locked up and Jeff was locked up, we went viral when they was like, that's the type of friend you want. He was like, man, Roscoe ain't told y'all that thing. Yeah, that's the beauty there. That's the right thing. You feel what I'm saying? Like all those, everybody is in the stateroom, in the interrogation room, and they gave statements.
Then weirdly, after 20 minutes, Young Thug would respond to Roscoe saying, they didn't play my interrogation video in court because I helped my brother. #RatWare. But this made some fans believe that Young Thug paid Huey Roscoe to come out and say that Thug never snitched to save his rap career. Even YSL Woody believed it too, where he would then call out Roscoe for a secret.
And Pee Wee, don't forget about that story when you said it out your own mouth how you did with that Pee Wee Roscoe. You know well not to mention me, boy. You know I ain't got no sense. I ain't got no damn screws in my head, boy. You remember we was at the Sky House? Me, you, and Thug was sitting in the car, and that damn swap past, and Thug tapped you and said, Pee Wee, what's up with that? And you told Thug how you stuck your lean up in it. Don't get me started.
However, this is where everything completely changed, and let me explain. It would be announced, Young Thug calls out Lil Durk from behind bars. Knowing what has been said by Thug in the interrogation room and in different jail calls, is it safe to assume that he shared information about Durk's team, OTF?
What's up with the boy Durk? You with the boy Durk?
Yeah.
You need to make. You need to make that. You know, I don't know. I did a lot of players for the boy too, though. When the boy career went where it supposed to be, man, Pluto. I was really like locked in with him, like just really with him. But I don't know. He acting a little different. I don't like that, man.
What you mean?
Like
what he?
I done sent him a few songs. He just like I know for sure going right up. He just got down taking his time, you know. They go to
man,
4-5 days, 10 days later, just like that little type. Like, man, you got going on, man.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, I already know what you mean.
Like, man, it's too much for you, man. Watch out.
Yeah.
He did that
Yeah,
on
that
that
shit
album.
dropped.
Yeah, one of them on
For
the
real?
album. Yeah. He sent a
On the
song
pump.
he sent a song from the last album. Yeah, he sent a song for it. Then goddamn, when it's time to clear the song, he don't clear the song. So the song didn't make the album. Like
He ain't clear it.
Man, didn't clear it. Didn't clear the song.
What you mean ain't clear the song?
Yeah, he did. He worked out. Then you get on the internet, keep talking about thug this and that, man. Cut that cap.
This would get the attention of an OTF member. It reads, Chicago rapper Lil Durk, OTF associate, OTF twin, reacts to Atlanta rapper Young Thug speaking on Durk in a leaked jail call, saying, quote, that boy on them phones gossiping like a girl. I'll never trust a guy that put on makeup and a dress. But this wouldn't settle well with Young Thug. He would respond to Twin saying, all y'all new dudes in OTF, just know that I'm the one who sent Brian Steele to help him out on my own dime. But it was clear Young Thug did not want to risk his relationship with Lil Durk. Shortly after, his own sister would come out on IG Live. It was written, Young Thug's sister says, people are only calling him a snitch because they know that he can't come to Atlanta. She said, we've been putting belt to everyone. That's why everyone's clicked up.
Don't be on the internet acting like my brother just when y'all know my brother ain't dead. On the internet acting like y'all just my brother. You know for a fact y'all doing it because he can't come back to Atlanta. Yeah. Don't do this. Don't click up. Do all this because they know he can't come back to Atlanta. That the only thing it is, he can't come back here. All that spit. Spit on who? Man, we gonna lay right back to A. Nah, we been putting belt. That's why everybody clicked up.
But this is where fans began to notice who was leaking all the snitching audios. Academics wrote, Gunna's been sitting on these jail phone recordings for a minute. Now is the right time for him to drop them to further prove Rallo's point that Thug be putting everything against everyone. Gunna might be a genius.
I'm almost certain Gunna's team is leaking it to his fan pages. I'm almost certain, okay? I know they're not going to agree to it, right? But I'm almost certain that Gunna's lawyers pulled, because yes, when you're in the case, you don't have to go through a Freedom of Information Act or anything like this, and some of these things would even be available, or it could be challenged if you try to do a FOIA on it. But it appears all of these things may have been gotten from maybe somebody who was in the case that would request them, and it could have been something for the nature of an appeal or something like that, so the courts are going to give it up because you're a defendant. So for me, I can't tell why there is, like, where's Gunna's calls? Like, we want to hear Gunna's calls, right? And by the way, you could tell maybe they were both doing it to each other. There's a time where Thug actually says he has been having his lawyers review Gunna's call, and Gunna is on the phone talking to a girl saying, I love you, I'm gonna come home soon. And he basically even thinks that Gunna got out of jail early because he wanted, which, bruv, if that's the case, the streets is cooked.
This resulted in Young Thug crashing out on IG Live against who many believe is Gunna, where this entire IG Live goes against his probation agreement.
We ain't even talk about these fake guys and fake houses with these pools and you can get put out of in the next 2-3 years and all that cheese. We ain't even finna talk about none of that. Like, that is the topic of, I guess. Yeah, your spot out right now. You gonna put it on Instagram. I bet your put it on Instagram at your house out. On God, you blocked from your page. I'm on your from my fake page. Can't about to black me. I still see it. You post a picture. That ain't me on that picture. Lane Green. The whole world been thinking that too, man. I'm finna say gonna say something about that, man. That ain't me with that skirt on that with that hat. The man say he got more hits than me and Kendrick. Bro, your ain't got more hits than Kendrick, and you ain't damn sure ain't got more hits or anthems than me. You hard, why you tripping? And I ride past your house for sale sign up. Now you done went and took your whole money and put down on that goddamn house out there, man. And you couldn't finish paying it off. Now the lady that came took her shit back. Now your stupid gotta sell it.
But it's very clear whoever is leaking the jail audios loves it when Young Thug crashes out. Moments after that IG Live, another audio would be leaked, but this time with 21 Savage talking to Thug about rappers who started dissing Gunna the moment he was released from jail.
Type. I ain't finna say nothing about you on the internet. I ain't finna let the world know I ain't with you until just say so.
But you know,
that's what they supposed to did. Like,
but ain't nobody
trying to go at him to get clout. Yes, they have. Dirt
said something to him, but that's it. Like, Wham ain't doing all this. Like,
Wham unfollowed him.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just that little boy. That ain't really saying that to no. Yeah, that's just like, damn, I'm disappointed, bro.
Yeah, but that's still.
But guess what, though? That makes
your position is, bro.
But
I ain't saying they wrong. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they jumped.
Plus, they had a conversation with you for they anything.
Yeah, but Wham did though. I talked to Wham. So we get on the phone. Hey, you told Buddy them do that? All right, he's like, all right, say less. I'm smart. Off top. Soon it happened.
However, Charleston White is making it his mission to not allow Young Thug to get out of this. He would react, confirming that this will be the downfall of the YSL rapper. You comment down below if you believe it as well.
Say, listen, I prophesied this. Right now, say TCV is looking at all these old videos. I told y'all Young Thug will go tell it. I told y'all. I'm always willing to bet with any rapper. If they keep Young Thug locked up 6 more months in the conditions he in, he'll tell to get out of jail too. They keep him 6 more months locked up in them conditions like that there, he'll tell to get out of jail too. He about ready to break. I told y'all, I am the new prophet. I thought, man, what is he doing talking? A 2-hour interrogation, and you mad at Yak got it. You mad at Gunna. Gunna don't have no interrogation tape, and everybody mad at Gunna. This is what I tell y'all, hip-hop is fake.
But Charleston wasn't done here. He would double down further, saying that he's gonna make sure of it.
Say, listen, Atlanta, I know y'all love Thug, and I love y'all. But y'all just bear with me. I'm finna destroy Young Thug. He will not be able to rap no more. Woody, be quiet. Rollo, you know they wrong for how they did you. Lil Baby, you might as well stop hanging with Thug. Gunna, don't talk, just stay back. Let me get this, I got y'all. Can't nobody beat me. I'm finna destroy. Swear to God. Banks, come on now. Don't.
This resulted in a tweet going viral reading, Young Thug came out of jail, burnt down bridges, released 0 good music, then got exposed for being a rat. Tough scenes. This resulted in a massive IG live from Rallo, Wack 100, 6ix9ine, and DJ Academics.
And get what? On that call, I never even told you he turned Wham against P, or he turned Wham against all these other different people that he did. But however, you have found out it came off the phone call. But guarantee I ain't going for that line. Should be shunned just like us. The judge had shunned them. Now the streets need to shun that. Guess what? That's what I'm telling you. The thing about sitting down there, coming on here lying, playing them, yeah, you telling your the truth. Just like I stand up, don't like that tell the truth. He hiding behind these motherfuckers masks. But guess what? A mask gotta come off. You ain't gonna be able to keep that motherfucking mask on forever. You ain't gonna be able to keep throwing rocks and hide your hand. This is karma.
Where 6ix9ine would even speak his own thoughts, which had the entire chat agreeing with him. But comment down below what you believe. And like the video if you'll still listen to Young Thug music. I'm curious how many of you will.
Young Thug came home and said, yo, buddy, a rat. Stop acting like we cool. Made another excuse. Nah, but his music fire. I said when he come home and say that Gunna told, y'all was gonna be like, all right, now everybody, you see how every time it's something, every time?
And we like Thug though, man, like, somebody, yo.
Thug told, bro.
What?
He told before Gunna, 2015, told, and this was crazy. Got caught with 2 or 3 sticks in LA. Now I'm trying to figure out where them cases went. He got coming out the Lowe's Hotel, the same hotel where Yo Gotti them had that bang out. Remember that bang out happened? Got caught in the Sprinter with 2 or 3 sticks. We ain't heard about that case. This was back then. He told my, and like Rollo said, what conversations did you have since then?
Even rappers like Young and Ace, Tory Lanez, Pooh Shiesty, and Fetty Wap also committed crimes, but comment down below who your favorite rapper is and I'll see if they committed any crimes. I'm gonna read them all.